down on beautiful Wrigley Field, and all is beautiful today because the Cubs won a big ball game against the New York Mets yesterday. Houston lost, so the Cubs now 3.5 games in back of the Astros. Also, as a bonus, everybody pursuing the Cubs in the wild card race also lost. So let's pick it up with the Elmhurst Dodge highlights. And yesterday, Kevin Tapani won his 12th because of pitches like this. A high-tight fastball to Piazza. He fans Hundley. But John Olerud comes up and he puts the Mets on top 1-0. Takes this one out of the ballpark into the wind. It stayed that way until Jose Hernandez hits his 16th home run of the year. A rocket down the line that stayed just fair. With the Cubs trailing 2-1, Glenn Allen Hill comes up and he crushes the ball to center field. John Franco on the mound. He blows the save. He loses the ball game. And coming up after these messages, a talk with yesterday's hero, Glenn Allen Hill. Glenn Allen Hill yesterday came through in a big way. And Glenn Allen, let's turn to yesterday. Look at the scenario as it was shaping up. You knew that you had always hit very well against John Franco. Did you think that you would get that matchup late in a close game?
I didn't think so. You know, I had some previous success on Franco, and I was prepared, and I had been prepared for that situation for the last 3 days, hoping to come through, and I did come through, but I didn't think that it would come down to that.
You worked the count to 3-0. Now, you always look down to get the sign from Tom Gamboa. Were you a little surprised that you were given a 3-0 green light, or did you anticipate it?
No, I wasn't very surprised. I figured that I was up there for one reason. I was going to strike out or I was going to hit a home run. And yesterday it worked out to my advantage, and it's always good to take one swing and contribute to a victory. So it felt good, and you know, Riggs has shown confidence in me. You know, I think it helps him out that I could hit right-handers and hit left-handers, so he can save my bat for those kind of situations, and it paid off yesterday.
You started the year with Seattle. They're struggling, obviously. This is your second go-around with the Cubs. Were you surprised when Seattle designated you for assignment and then the Cubs a second time brought you back?
I was very surprised. You know, I was having a great season, and I had no prior indication that was going to happen. And when the Cubs picked me up, it was kind of like a relief. You know, it showed a lot of respect for me, and it showed the rest of the league that the Cubs were pretty serious about getting the postseason. So after the initial shock, I was okay with it.
You left a ball club that was supposed to be trying to get in the postseason. You've come to a ball club that's right in the middle of a postseason race. You've been with enough clubs at this point to get a sense of the feeling of a ball club at a certain time of the year. What's the feeling of the Cubs right now?
Well, I just think that we're trying to play good, solid baseball and don't lose games by beating ourselves. And if we could continue to play this way, I think our chances of reaching the postseason will be pretty good.
Not only the home run yesterday, but a couple of days ago, you also hit a big home run. And as far as hitting is concerned, you had a real good offensive year in Seattle. I mean, you were hitting the baseball pretty well. Have you always viewed that as a strong part of your game?
I can hit, you know. I can play. It just seems like I've been in situations where I've been kind of like an scapegoat, which is okay as long as we win. You know, I mean, I can take that. But it doesn't surprise me, you know, that I'm able to come off the bench and hit. You know, I've been in the league for 9 years, and I've kind of got a sense of what it takes to be prepared. And I prepare myself, and I come through more times than not. So, you know, I think that's a good thing.
At this stage of your career, you've seen baseball in the American League with a few different teams. You've seen baseball in the National League with a couple of different teams. Which do you prefer?
I prefer the National League, but I like the American League because it gives baseball fans an opportunity to see great hitters hit. And hitting is a very exciting part of baseball. And, you know, there are some great designated hitters. Chile Davis, Edgar Martinez, now Darryl Strawberry. I mean, you know, those guys are exciting guys to watch, and they're very professional. So I like the DH in that regard, but I prefer the National League.
Well, good luck to you. You had a great day yesterday, and keep it going. And stay with us because we'll look at the scores from yesterday, and we'll be back with the starting pitchers after these messages. On the mound today is one of the Mets' best, Rick Reed. He's had a great year. He was an all-star pitcher, and he's been consistent this entire year. And for the Cubs today, Kerry Wood going to the mound, coming off a great performance against the Atlanta Braves. And maybe a little revenge and payback against Mike Piazza, who, when he was with the Dodgers a few teams ago, hit a grand slam home run against Kerry Wood in Los Angeles. It's going to be a real interesting ball game today, an exciting game, a game the Cubs would love to win and tie this series at 2-2. So stay tuned for baseball.
Guests on the leadoff man receive a handsome piece of jewelry from Henry K. Jewelers. Third Level Water Tower Place, Chicago. The Leadoff Man has been brought to you by Elmhurst Dodge, Illinois' largest Dodge dealer because of the people.
Revenge can be oh so sweet. Brian McRae came back to haunt his old team with some clutch hitting and made a great catch in center. The Mets were all pumped up after their doubleheader sweep on Friday, but it was the Cubs' turn for revenge when Glen Allen Hill yesterday stared down one of his favorite victims, John Franco, in the Cubs' big comeback win. Unbeaten at home, Kerry Wood gets his first start at Wrigley since the break and his first ever against the Mets. Will today be the Mets' turn for revenge? Find out. Game 4 of the series is next. It's time for Cubs baseball, and what a beautiful day for baseball it is. The New York Mets and Chicago Cubs wrap up this 4-game series on a gorgeous Sunday for baseball right here on WGN. Hello again, everybody. I'm Chip Carey along with Dr. Download Steve Stone. Welcome to Cubs baseball. Cubs going for the split in this 4-game series, and they've got Kerry Wood gunning for win number 10 after a big emotional lift yesterday.
There's a couple of guys that he has to contend with, and that's Kerry Wood. And what he did last time out was just brilliant. This year at Wrigley Field, he has been unbelievable, unbeatable as a matter of fact. And the two Mets he has to contend with, Brian McRae and John Olerud, have pretty much been a two-man wrecking crew.
Yeah, Olerud 4 for 9 in this series, and Brian McRae not only offensively, but remember that great catch he made in the outfield. That was an unbelievable play for the New York Mets. It gave them a big lift in this series as well. But I guess you have to be asking, if you're Jose Hernandez, how come Mike Piazza is threatening to get $100 million? Because my numbers are pretty close, aren't they?
I got to figure Jose's worth $50 million. When you look at those numbers, you'll see he's doing a little better.
So it's the Cubs and Mets here in Game 4. Let's send it down for our national anthem.
Only we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. On the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. The Discover Card, the card that pays you back with a cashback bonus award. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Pepsi, Generation Next. ComEd, the official electric company of the Chicago Cubs. ComEd, what do you do with your power? And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
It's a gorgeous day for baseball here at Wrigley Field. 78 degrees, winds out of the east at 8 miles per hour. And Stoney, the Cubs have to be feeling sky high after Glen Allen Hill's pinch hit home run in the 8th inning of yesterday's ball game. If they had dropped 3 in a row to the Mets, you feel good about the resiliency of this team. But boy, oh boy, that would have been a crushing way to end this homestand. But Glen Allen Hill, with one swing of the bat, made life great again in Cubland.
And you have to credit Jim Riggleman with a couple of moves that he made late. Number one, and a move that perhaps forced the hand of Bobby Valentine. He put Manny Alexander into pinch run. It was that base stealing threat that meant that John Franco came into the ball game. That was a matchup Jim Riggleman wanted all along, was Glen Allen Hill against John Franco. He got it, and Glen Allen Hill was just a little bit better.
But it has been a very costly series for the Cubs. Jeremy Gonzalez has been placed on the disabled list with a tender elbow, and this is the pitch with which he felt the discomfort.
It could very well be that Jeremy might be lost for quite some time. They put him on the 15-day disabled list, and with that, Brant Brown was activated yesterday, and he's in the starting lineup today.
So the Cubs take the field behind the kid Kerry Wood, who seeks his 10th win of the year. The Cubs come in 2.5 games ahead in the wild card race and would love to even up this series 2-2 against the second place New York Mets. Brian McRae has been a Cub killer all year long. He leads it off. Then Lenny Harris at third. John Olerud at first base. Then Mike Piazza. 2 for 5 against Caray. That was as a Dodger, including a grand slam out at Dodger Stadium. Todd Hundley in left, who made a great diving catch early in the game yesterday. Then Baerga, Husky, Lopez, and the pitcher Rick Reed will hit ninth.
And the Pepsi defense for Jim Riggleman and the Cubs: Rodriguez, Brown, and Sosa left to right. Hernandez, Blauser, Alexander, and Grace in the infield. A battery of Tyler Houston. And Kerry Wood searching for his 10th win of the year. In this, his 19th start. He has that one complete game, that 20 strikeout gem against Houston. As you can see, 167 strikeouts and 114 in the third innings. He is averaging over 13 strikeouts per 9 innings, and that is the best in the league.
A great day at the ballpark as we take a panoramic view of Wrigley Field from our high center field scoreboard camera. And the Cubs better enjoy these cool climbs today, for we won't be feeling quite so comfortable starting tomorrow night. It's only going to be 110 in Phoenix on Wednesday, and we'll be there tonight through Thursday as we battle the Diamondbacks. Some good news for the Cubs: we won't see Andy Bennis. He pitches today for the Diamondbacks. We won't see Matt Williams. He's on the disabled list. And we may not see Travis Lee.
Well, Travis Lee aggravated a groin problem, and so it could be that 2 of the best Diamondbacks will not be around. And the matchups tomorrow: it'll be Steve Traxel and Willie Blair, Mark Clark and Brian Anderson on Tuesday, undecided against Telemaco. Undecided has been very tough this year, and Kevin Tapani against Omar Dahl on Thursday.
Jerry Crawford behind the plate. We'll call the balls and strikes. C.B. Bucknor, Bob Davidson, and Tom Hallion. The rest of the crew. The first pitch from Wood is a bullet for a strike to Brian McRae. Wood has been spectacular here at home. 6-0, an ERA of 2.38 here at Wrigley Field. That taken low to even the count, a ball and a strike. McRae hitting over 400 in the last 6 Met games. 2-1.
In the series, Brian has hurt the Cubs.
Kerry falls behind, 3-1 the count.
And if you walk him, he can't hurt you, because he is their best base stealer. And unlike yesterday's game where there was a quagmire at first base, it looks a little drier today.
3-1. Little pop out of play. McRae saw it off, and the count now full 3-2.
Met pitching is second in the league behind Atlanta. The Cubs have a little bit better hitters, and they've scored 80 more runs than the Mets. The Mets have had their problems scoring runs.
The 3-2 pitch to McRae. Ball 4. He walked him, and McRae, with 17 steals on the year, has issued the opening free pass in the game.
And I got to figure that they're going to be running early and often against the combination of Wood and Houston. You don't figure to hit many balls out of the ballpark. This Met team is not the most powerful team around. They've only hit 71 home runs this year. By contrast, the Cubs have hit 128. So you got to believe that McRae is going to be going.
So Harris stands in. McRae fakes on the first pitch, and Kerry misses with a fastball high. 1-0. You would think, too, the Mets are going to make him throw strikes. They're going to try to wait him out, set the table for Piazza, and for the Mets, they hope that history repeats itself. For Piazza hit a grand slam against Kerry out in Dodger Stadium. 1 ball, no strikes. McRae, a big lead, draws a throw and is back standing up.
This Met team is a veteran team up and down that lineup. They don't strike out a lot. The Mets have fanned 659 times. By contrast, the Cubs 780. So the Cubs a little more free swingers. The Mets with a lot less power.
The 1-0 pitch. Not going. A strike outside corner. It's 1-1. Mr. Wood is popping the leather here in the first inning very, very nicely. But he has yet to retire a man. McRae walked to open the ball game. Another full house, it would appear, at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. The Cubs 2.5 games ahead of the Giants and Mets in the wild card race. Just 3.5 games behind the Astros in the hunt for the National League Central crown.
Lenny Harris has grounded into 8 double plays. However, none as a Met in his 38 at bats. Good time to start here.
You bet. A ball and a strike. Not going as McRae, and the pitch is high. 2-1.
Well, because you very rarely see 2-1 pitch outs, if you're Brian McRae and you have already read the best move of Kerry Wood, you would think you would be running on this pitch. Sometimes managers with a guy struggling with his control will allow him to walk himself in trouble, so we'll see.
Not going. 2-1, high and away. 3 balls and a strike. Everything is up, up and away.
This is the first time the Mets have had a look at Kerry Wood. They will find that he gets much stronger as the game moves along.
Looks like he's pretty strong to start this one today. In fact, maybe too strong. The runner goes. 3-1 pitch is pop foul out of play, and the count is full 3-2. McRae had that base stolen. So maybe a break for the Cubs. The count's now 3-2, and we'll see if he'll be running like he was on the 3-1 pitch with nobody out.
Well, I would think if Kerry would be hiding his best move, this would be a good time to use it at first base.
Big lead by McRae here in the top of the first. The runner goes. 3-2, swung on, slapped toward left. Henry comes in and makes the catch. McRae retreats back to first without a throw. So there's the first out of the ball game.
Kerry went to the slider 3-2. I think he believes that he can get that over the plate anytime he wants to, and that is a very potent weapon, especially when the hitters haven't seen it yet.
His last couple of starts, Steve, it seems like his fastball's been good, but he hasn't had command of that. And you're right, that slider is the pitch that he's been able to recover with.
Well, he's throwing a lot more fastballs. That's at the insistence of pitching coach Phil Regan, who would like to see 70 to 75% fastballs from the young man. And as we said, it does get a little crisper as the game moves along.
Olerud with 4 hits in the series. The Cub team in their last 4 games has 19 hits.
And Olerud has grounded into 10 double plays.
Yeah, he doesn't run very well at all, but again, Kerry falls behind with a high fastball. There's Mike Piazza. That man is very, very strong. He can swing late and still has plenty of power to drive a ball over the boards.
When was the last time you ever saw anybody walk a hitter ahead of Piazza, however? That's what happened yesterday.
Upstairs, 2-0.
One of the reasons why it so very rarely happened with the Los Angeles Dodgers was the fact that they were all right-hand hitters. So very rarely would you walk a right-hander to get to a more potent right-hand hitter. But with Olerud normally making contact, the situation dictated that you walked him ahead of Piazza, and that's what Riggs did. and the Cubs won the game.
McRae the lead. The pitch is driven high into the air into center field. Brant Brown gets the start today, and he makes the catch for out number 2. The wind will be the pitcher's best friend today. It's blowing in very, very briskly today. 2 down.
Olerud did Kerry Wood a favor. He'd fallen behind 2-0, and he swung at a fastball high and out of the strike zone and hit a harmless little fly ball to center field.
So here is Piazza. Nine for 27 this year against the Cubs. And a .314 average. The first pitch from Wood is a strike. How much money do you think Piazza has cost himself?
Well, I would think, and we contrasted it very quickly in the opening, when Jose Hernandez has 16 home runs, a .525 slugging percentage, and 54 runs batted in, and Mike Piazza has 16 home runs, a .508 slugging percentage, and 57 runs batted in. That doesn't sound like $100 million as far as a performer is concerned.
Runner goes. The pitch grounded up the middle. Manny to the shortstop side of second base, makes the play. No runs, no hits, 1 man left after a half inning.
Unlike other airlines, Southwest doesn't limit seats for frequent flyer award tickets. So if we've got a seat, it's yours. Not for keeps.
You are now free to move about the country.
Unlike other airlines, Southwest frequent flyer tickets can be easily transferred to friends and family members. Or perhaps someone else.
You are now free to move about the country.
So, I read an article that says they think about it every 8 seconds.
I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like the only thing Dave ever wanted.
They have one-track minds. Must be something biological or genetic.
Men, they're all the same.
Hey. You read my mind.
When your allergies are a nightmare, you need fast relief. You need the power of Zyrtec. Prescription Zyrtec starts working fast and lasts 24 hours. So when allergies are a nightmare, remember the power of Zyrtec. In studies, drowsiness was the most common side effect. Other side effects included fatigue and dry mouth. Most were mild or moderate. To learn more, ask your doctor or pharmacist.
A leadoff walk doesn't hurt Kerry Wood in the top of the first. Here's a look at the Cubs Pepsi lineup. Brant Brown gets the leadoff assignment today against the Mets. A very, very good average. Jose Hernandez playing third base. Sammy Sosa, Mark Grace, Henry in left. Jeff Blauser at short. Tyler Houston behind the plate. Manny Alexander at second base. Mickey Morandini still a little sore after being hit by that pitch. Probably will play beginning tomorrow night in Arizona. And of course, Kerry Wood will pitch and bat ninth.
And the defense for Bobby Valentine and the Mets: Hundley, McRae, and Husky left to right. Harris, Lopez, Baerga, and Olerud in the infield. A battery of Mike Piazza and Rick Reed looking for his 12th win of the year. A sparkling .274 ERA in this his 21st start. He, like Kerry Wood, has one complete game. Doesn't have the strikeouts, but has exceptional control. Only 21 walks so far in 20 starts. And that's not too shabby.
No question about it. He's 1-1 this year against the Cubs. Lost on April 9th. 7 runs, 10 hits in that ball game. Then on April 15th, pitched to Jim. 7 innings of shutout baseball, only 4 hits.
Brant Brown did a lot of hitting down there, but more than anything else, he satisfied himself that his shoulder was entirely healthy. He played the first game at first base, then he moved to the outfield.
0-1 from Rick Reed. And it's fouled back to the screen. Reed, a very charitable soul, donates $2,000 for every win to the National Diabetes Association. So with 11 victories on the year, that's $22,000 he's donated to that very worthy cause. Brant sprays that ball to left toward Hundley, battling the sun, battling the wind. He can't make the grand. It's a double for Brown. On a day like today, hit it to left.
Todd Hundley is going to have his problems in left field. Normally, you're going to be out. But with Todd Hundley there, he has no chance at this one. The ball just keeps drifting over his head. And Brant winds up at second as the Cubs try to break out on top. And Jose Hernandez has been everything for the Cubs. He'll be trying to hit the ball to the right side.
Had to chuckle down on the field with you before the game when you saw Jose. Said, where are you playing and where are you hitting today? It's been a different spot on the order just about every day for this guy. But you can see the importance and the important role he has played for this Cub team this year. He has been maybe the biggest unsung hero on a team that's had a hero a day this year. And he looks inside at the read fastball, 1-0.
Well, you know he's going to be playing. The only question is where. And he's hit up and down this lineup. And he's played all around this field. And everywhere he goes, he plays exceptionally good defense and gives you a dependable bat.
1 ball, no strikes. Brown a big lead at second. That's right through there.
The arms in the outfield just okay. Obviously, they're going to run on Todd Hundley every chance they get. Brian McRae throws fairly well in center field. Husky takes a while to deliver the ball in right. So you would think on a base hit, Brown would be scoring.
1-1. Swung on, hit high in the air toward left. Hundley has a much easier play this time. Oh, he makes a one-handed grab. That's confidence. 1 down. He has not had a stellar series with the mitt.
It's going to be very difficult for Todd Hundley in his adjustment to left field. And he's had all kinds of problems already. But this was a dandy catch leading off the ball game against Lance Johnson yesterday. And so he's 1 for 2 today.
I'm not too sure about the glove in left, but boy, I'd love to have his bat. He can really hit.
He's got to get used to major league hitting once again. When he does, he is a destructive offensive force.
So here's Sosa, speaking of destructive offensive forces. Sammy with 37 homers, 94 runs driven in. And they keep the ball away from him. Ball 1.
Well, I'd like to pass along congratulations and a happy 50th anniversary to a couple of friends of mine, Jerry and June Becker, looking on in Phoenix, Arizona. Huge Cub fans, and I'm sure they'll be there for the big Cub Diamondback series coming up tomorrow night.
1 ball, no strikes. Sammy fighting it. He's 12 for his last 60. That's a 200 batting average for the Cubs of late, but maybe he'll be able to snap out of it here today. His average down to 307.
Reed is a great control pitcher. He's not overpowering. He has a curveball somewhat like Bobby Jones throws it, and he usually gets it over the plate. Fastball, curveball, and a good straight change.
A ball and a strike. Swung on, popped up and into the seats. Those folks are shielded from the sunshine by the shadows cast by the second deck here at Wrigley Field. Well, what a job by Kevin Tapani yesterday. Picked up his 12th win for the Cubs. That guy's amazing. He's fun to watch pitch.
He doesn't spend a lot of time out there. He just moves the ball around, changes speeds, and he's come up with a great changeup.
1-2. Sammy stays alive. Rod Beck saw Trevor Hoffman last night save his 41st consecutive game. That's the record Rod Beck once held all by himself. And as great a year as Greg Vaughn is having in San Diego, you've got to think Hoffman deserves some MVP consideration for that team too. He has been perfect for that San Diego team. 1-2. Swung on, ground ball to third. Harris looks the runner back, flips to first in time, and now the runner stays at second with 2 outs.
Well, Rod Beck, yesterday at least, was certainly rooting for Trevor Hoffman because that save stopped the Houston Astros, got the Cubs a game closer. 41 consecutive saves is almost unbelievable. Hoffman perfect on this year, that 41 consecutive save streak stretching back to last year.
And the Padres neck and neck with Atlanta for the best record in the National League. That's going to be a great battle all year long between those two juggernauts. And we'll see who comes out on top as Mark Grace digs in with a chance to provide a 2-out hit and a Cub lead here. .324 is Grace's average. He's hit 10 home runs, 53 batted in. He's really looking forward, I would think, to getting down to Arizona, for that's when his power surge came for the Cubs earlier this year. Remember, he christened the Bank One ballpark pool with a blast to right. The 1-0. Little swinging roller in front of the plate. Piazza pounces on it and throws him out. And the side's retired. Cubs got a leadoff double and couldn't advance the runner after 1, scoreless at Wrigley Field.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
What do you get when you add up all Dodge Neon's horsepower plus all of its interior room, both of which are greater than you'll find here, then subtract a hefty $1,500 cash back, hit total, and Neon is yours for under $10,500. Or instead of cash back, choose low 1.9 financing. Another way to save. And as they say, the numbers speak for themselves. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Hey Cubs fans, enjoy a drink with your friends before, during, or after the game at the Friendly Confines. Near the corner of Addison and Sheffield, the Friendly Confines offers easy access in and out of the game. Enjoy Cubs ambience inside or order from the grill and relax in the outdoor patio. Catch plenty of Cubs action on your computer. Visit the Chicago Cubs website at www.cubs.com for live broadcasts, daily stats and game notes, player information, online access to tickets, and more. Visit the Cubs website today at www.cubs.com.
Scoreless game after 1 here at Wrigley Field. Cubs got a leadoff double and failed to score in the first. It's a pitcher's matchup, Wood against Reed here. Here in the Mets half of the second, it'll be Hundley, Baerga, and Husky.
Todd Hundley's been swinging a lot of high fastballs lately, and that's where Kerry throws most of his fastballs.
Here's Hundley. A fastball for a strike. Took something off. That's almost not fair. 0-2. Big group from the ALS Society wanting to help strike out Lou Gehrig's disease. Steve's big buddy Sarah, the Duchess of York, was here earlier to speak to the big ALS function here in Chicago earlier this summer. And Hundley's out on strikes. Woods first of the game. First K of the day for Kerry Wood, and number 168 on the year.
Todd Hundley retired without taking the bat off his shoulder. You don't look for that hook, but there it is.
Yeah, are you and the Duchess corresponding at all? You've hit it off so brilliantly in your time together in the booth.
I would say that would be a negative.
Here's Baerga. She liked Mark McGwire, if I remember correctly.
Yes. An autographed bat from the big guy. And almost immediately he stopped hitting home runs.
He must have given her a really good bat. Pitch popped up and into the seats. It's 1-1. Let's take a look at today's ComEd Power Profile, Steve.
The ComEd Power Profile is the Chicago Cubs team. Their batting average, their home runs. They lead the National League in striking out, but if you hit a lot of home runs, that's okay. The ERA a little higher than you'd like, but a dominating home record of 36-20, and that's the ComEd Power Profile.
1-1. 1-2. I would guess, Steve, that's why this game is even a little extra important. There aren't that many home games left. And if the Cubs are going to be serious playoff hopefuls, they've got to take advantage of what few home games left they do have on the schedule. Out of play off the bat of Baerga.
You're also playing the team that's the closest to you in the wild card race. And you've got a young man on the mound that's been perfect at home, and there is a wild card race. The Mets 2.5 games back, just one back in the loss column. They've had a lot of rainouts. San Francisco 3 back. The Fighting Phils right there at 4.
1-2. Breaking ball, line just past Mark Grace's glove and into right field. A soft 1-out single by Baerga.
Well, the one thing you don't have to worry about with Baerga is him running. To Mark Grace, this probably looked like it was coming in slow motion. He tried to get across to get it and just missed it. This ball not hit hard, but hit in a perfect spot.
So Butch Huskey gets his first taste of Kerry Wood's medicine here in the second inning. Huskey at .262, 11 home runs and 54 runs batted in.
This situation cries out for a double play. Huskey runs very well, not poorly, but okay. And Baerga awfully slow, so he's rounded into 12 double plays, and he showed bunt on the first pitch.
But he took the pitch high from Caray. The breaking ball, same spot, and the same result. Baseball's trading deadline 5 days away. The Mets have been very, very busy. They've added Harris, they've added McMichael, they've added Piazza. Will they add more? The 2-0. That bends right in there. 2-1.
San Francisco has been very busy. They made a couple of trades the other day. John Hart with Cleveland has also been busy. San Francisco added Jose Mesa, Alvin Mormon, Sean Dunston, Joe Carter. So they'll be the new look Giants when the Cubs see them on the next road trip.
The 2-1. Breaking ball hit a mile high into shallow center field. Brant Brown says, I've got it. Boy, when he makes that play, it almost looks like he's saying, I can't see the baseball. But he tracks it down for the second out of the inning. You notice that he puts his hands out like he's not too sure if he's going to get there in time, but he's been very sure-handed in the outfield this year. I think I've got it.
He's already yelling, I've got it. If it comes down, you're out. It did, and he is.
And you're right. Here's Lopez. The Mets a little concerned about Ray Ordonez. Remember, he had that wicked swing in the doubleheader. With all that torque, he injured an abdominal muscle. He's day-to-day for the New York team, so Lopez playing shortstop in his absence. 1-1 the count.
They originally wanted to put Ray Ordonez on the disabled list, but he told them that with that electric stimulator that they have on his side, that he's feeling a whole lot better. He thinks that he'll be ready within a week, and he is for the moment convinced them to keep him off the 15-day disabled list.
A ball and a strike, 2 outs, runner aboard. The pitch beats the outside corner. That's unhittable. 1-2. It's been a hero a day for the Cubs. Yesterday's star was Glenn Allen Hill offensively. Kevin Tapani with the dominating pitching performance. 1-2 to Lopez. Swing swing and a miss. He blew him away. Wood strikes out his second of the game after 1.5. Nothing.
Major hazard. You left the base without authorization. Proceeded to Burger King and ordered a rodeo burger?
I've served this command for over
Answer the question! Did you order the rodeo burger?
You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new rodeo burger. Cheese, onion rings, bullseye barbecue sauce. Right now, part of the 99-cent Great Taste menu.
That rodeo burger, it was pretty tasty, huh? You can't handle the rodeo burger.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
So, I read an article that says they think about it every 8 seconds.
I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like the only thing Dave ever wanted.
They have one-track minds. Must be something biological or genetic.
Men, they're all the same.
Hey. You read my mind.
Needs a little work. We've never really had that big of a house before. Bathtub. So there's gonna be a lot going on my Discover card. Fireplace. I love just the idea of surrounding myself with all my friends and family, and that people can just drop by. Pool table. Discover card cashback bonus award. It's like a gift that you can do whatever you want with, and not even feel guilty. Come find my house.
It pays to discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
You can be just like Tiger Woods. He plays Titleist golf balls. And thanks to Wheaties, you can too. Just buy any 2 boxes of Wheaties and receive a free sleeve of Titleist balls. No postage, no handling, no kidding.
Craig and Lenny Harris, the son and daughter-in-law of our ace 7th inning stretch singer Arnie Harris.
And they're here to see Dad warble during the 7th inning. I know Arnie's been working on Take Me Out to the Ball Game low these many months in preparation for this very day. And music lovers all over the country are lining up waiting to hear him.
I don't know if they're lining up. I think they're reinforcing their windows with some extra strong tape. But we're looking forward to having Arnie up here in the booth. And Cubs fans, Friday is Comet Vintage Photo Series Day at Wrigley Field. The first 10,000 adults attending the Cubs Diamondbacks game get a Cubs Vintage Photo compliments of ComEd. Dial that number you see on your screen. Henry takes a quick strike from Rick Reed. Breaking ball back up the middle. What a play, Lopez. Patty cakes and throws him out. Had him played perfectly. 1 down.
Well, the Mets do more shifting than most teams, and they had Luis Lopez right in back of Rick Reed. Normally, when a ball goes right over the pitcher's mound, you think it's going to be a base hit. But in this case, knowing that Henry most likely will be pulling Reed, they had a severe shift on, and Lopez was right there to make the play. Reed has been around seemingly forever. Began his career back in 1986 at Bradenton. And he has made a lot of stops in between then and now.
Jeff Blauser takes a quick strike. Jeff 0 for his last 8, a 3 for 13 homestand for the Cubs. And as you see, the Mets have held him hitless so far in the series. Want to wish a happy 50th wedding anniversary to Richard and Edna Endress. Big Cubs fans watching the ball game today. 50 years of wedded bliss. Congratulations to Richard and Edna. That's awesome.
There's Rick Reed over his career in 93 starts, 33 and 30, a winning record. However, as he's gotten older, he seems to have gotten a whole lot better. A great year last year at 13 and 9 with an ERA of 2.89.
Jeff fouls it back.
And I don't know how exactly that's worked, because here's a man that made stops with Pittsburgh 4 times, Kansas City, then Texas a couple of times, then Cincinnati, and then was a replacement player, and then the New York Mets last year, and a great year it was for him.
And an all-star this year. 2-2 is the count.
He's really a great story because he's a study in perseverance. He's a man who does not throw the ball particularly hard. Last year, he was number 5 in the National League in road ERA at 2.75. And that's quite an accomplishment.
The 2-2. Jeff hits it high in the air into shallow right field. Husky and Baerga. It's Husky. They're not exactly the surest handed outfield in the business out there, but they've made 2 catches on fly balls so far in this game.
Now, I would expect that if the outfield alignment stays the same, Brian McRae will lose about 15 pounds this year, running from gap to gap. And Brian has had quite a series. You know, just like Jeff Blauser was psyched up against the Atlanta Braves, Brian is playing that way against the Cubs.
Tyler Houston, the Cub catcher, bats with 2 men down. He's 1 for his last 13. Bunt, Tyler, bunt has been the battle cry from the broadcast booth.
Well, I talked to him today, and he said it depends on the situation and where the third baseman lines up. But you have to bear in mind that you got Lenny Harris at third. You don't have Edgardo Alfonzo. And Harris is a pretty good hitter, but he doesn't have Alfonso's defensive capabilities.
3 balls, no strikes with former Met Manny Alexander waiting on deck. Cubs got a leadoff double from Brant. Brown failed to advance or score the runner in the first. And it's still a 0-0 game with 2 outs. Tyler Houston draws the walk on 4 straight pitches, and that's news. Reed only 22 walks now in 142 innings.
And Bobby Valentine probably very surprised that the best control pitcher he has on his team walks Tyler Houston on 4 pitches. But walk him he does.
Big Cubs fans, Kathy Sue and Stephen Watts got married at the ballpark today. They have a bunch of friends watching the game at the Milan Lounge down in New Orleans.
I met those folks coming up the ramp today. They looked exceptionally happy. He was wearing a hat that said groom. She had a hat that said bride. But, you know, being the great analyst I am, I could tell the difference right away without the hats.
And your eyesight's not that good. Close play at first, and they got him. Tyler Houston is picked off first base to end the second inning. That's not a good way to end the second. And it's a pretty good way for Reed to end the inning. 0-0 heading to the third.
They say fruit's good for your body.
Everybody loves fruit.
Natural fruit. Wild fruit. Peeling fruit. Warm bodies. Hard bodies. Everybody. Everybody. Fruit of the Loom. It's underwear. Get it? Everybody.
Everybody. Everybody loves fruit.
This is the 98 Dodge Avenger. It offers huge 17-inch tires for stability, a rigid body structure for quiet, and a sophisticated system of valves and bushings for optimum tuning of ride and handling. We thought we'd start there, because if we started with Avenger's looks, we'd never get your attention back to bushings and valves. See your friendly Dodge dealer today and get $1,000 cash back on Avenger.
Soccer sure has changed since I played. 30-foot rises. Contracting goals. This game is nothing like we could have ever imagined. And it all started with All Sport.
All Sport, with a third more carbs than Gatorade. The game will never be the same.
It's back, and this time there's something new. Now there's a wind tunnel that's self-propelled. New self-propelled wind tunnel.
Scoreless after 2, and the slugging pitcher Rick Reed for the Mets will lead the proceedings off here in the third inning.
There's the daughter of Joan Sorensen. It's Laura Casper. She's at the ball game today. Joan, an integral part of the WGN front office.
Jones out probably on the beautiful waters of Lake Michigan, probably in one of those speedboats out there as we speak, with a satellite dish tuning into the ball game today as Reed takes a ball 2-0. We mentioned he's a slugger. On April 15th, he showed you what we mean.
Into the night at Shea Stadium. That was a bomb. I would think he'd have trouble taking Kerry Wood out of the ballpark, however. Kerry doesn't give up too many home runs. 7 to be exact.
Bouncing ball to the left side. Jose behind the bag at third. Low throw. Grace dug it out. Good play at both ends. Leadoff man retired in the New York third.
Good effort by Jose, and one of the reasons he backed up, he knew a pitcher was going down the line, and Mark Grace able to pick the low throw. So a good play on both ends as Jose plants the back foot, takes his time, and Mark Grace picks it clean. You always have to watch the bunt with Bryant,
who walked on a 3-2 pitch back in the first inning. How would you characterize McRae's stint as a Cub?
Started out okay and went downhill. I mean, it looked like he was going to be a very good player. He obviously got a center fielder, a switch hitter, but he never felt here all that comfortable as a leadoff hitter. He tried to fill that gap, but he's got more power than the normal leadoff hitter. Didn't take quite as many walks as you would like and wasn't as selective. But he's played very well as a New York Met.
Decent numbers at Wrigley Field for McRae. This year hitting .254.
Well, the on base percentage is .359, and usually from your leadoff hitter you'd love to see .400. If you could get .385 to .400, that would be good. Brian was never really quite there, and I always envisioned he would be a good second hitter because of the switch hitter, maybe a seventh hitter. But he's at the top for the Mets.
And he crushes that ball deep toward right. Sammy turns around and waves goodbye. McRae just murdered a 3-1 pitch from Wood, and it's 1-0 in favor of New York.
Well, the key was 3-1, and Brian, as we told you, for a leadoff hitter, has a lot of power. That's home run number 15. His 44th driven in, which is a high total for a leadoff hitter, and the 8th taken out of the ballpark. And Brian McRae is pretty psyched up as the fans boo him roundly here, but he likes that. And for him, this series has been one of his defining moments this season.
So Wood's consistency in falling behind finally catches up to him here in the third inning. And Lenny Harris takes a ball and fouls the next pitch back out of play. Here's a look again at the home run and the reaction.
Brian gets a fastball low and down the middle and lets the bat go, figuring that it is gone. And even into the wind, the ballpark can't hold it. And it's a blast. You're going to have to hit it pretty well to get it out of here today. And Brian did hit it awfully well.
So it's Mets in front by a run, 1-0 against a tough hombre, Rick Reed. Did he swing? He did not. 3 balls and a strike to Harris now. Only the 8th home run Wood has surrendered on the year. That ball again hit high in the air toward left, but Henry got a nice jump, puts it away for out number 2. John Olerud now will become the Met hitter. Olerud fly to center his first time up. Later on today, it's the Astros again in San Diego, a super pitching matchup. Mike Hampton against Kevin Brown.
Mike Hampton has really struggled, has not won since coming off the disabled list. And Kevin Brown has been close to all world this year. So you got to like San Diego's chances. And that means if the Cubs can subdue these pesky Mets, they might be able to sneak a game closer to the Astros.
Brown's 12-3 on the year. 2 balls, no strikes to Olerud. Let's pause now for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
With Steve Stone, Chip Caray from the ballpark. 3 balls, no strikes to Olerud.
I don't think that Olerud would have the green light here with Piazza coming up next, but you never know, so you'd like to make a good pitch out away from him. Just don't allow him to pull it.
3-1.
Now Olerud, who has good but not great power, will be looking for a fastball just like Brian McRae was.
Same pitch, hopefully a different result here. 3 balls and a strike. It's a rocket into left for Olerud.
Well, if Kerry falls behind, even with great stuff, and he does have that, but he's been shown by these Met hitters, these veteran Met hitters, that when you fall behind and they can guess a fastball's coming, they're going to hit it hard. As Olerud rifles this ball over the head of Jeff Blauser into left field. And he's aboard for Mike Piazza.
Piazza grounded to second. Manny Alexander covering the bag as McRae tried to steal second, made the play on the shortstop side of the base, and then threw Mike out, and he takes a strike. Well, I like the way they pitched him with that pitch.
I would rather see the ball up. He can get the head of the bat on a low fastball in. He cannot catch up to it if it's just below the letters in. Right there.
And you see the result. Blauser will flip to Manny at second, and the Mets are retired in the third. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. Brian McRae's home run, the difference so far at Wrigley Field.
Flying to the New England area for business? If these 12 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to Providence or Manchester, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
Making friends is our business was a motto that my grandfather created back in the 1950s when he came up with the slogan. Beer is about friendship, about relationships. It's about making friends, going out, meeting new people, and there's not a better beverage to do it with than a Budweiser. There are 500 million beer drinkers in the world, 80 million beer drinkers in the United States, and they must know something.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the Discover Card. Discover Card, the card that pays you back with a cashback bonus award.
True, there are other ways to reduce your car insurance premiums instead of calling Geico. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
One nothing after 2.5. Brian McRae once again the arch villain for Cubs fans. His solo home run, the difference in today's ball game. But a long way to go now as Manny Alexander, Kerry Wood, and Brant Brown face Rick Reed.
Yesterday it took until the 8th inning with the Cubs trailing 2-1 for Glenn Allen Hill to come off the bench and make a winner out of Kevin Tapani and the Cubs.
A strike on the outside edge to Manny Alexander. You'd think the Mets would have a pretty good idea of how to pitch this guy. Manny, of course, played with New York last year and came to the Cubs with Mark Clark.
I think they're going to try to keep the ball away from him early in the count. And here comes the hook.
And he squibs it right back to the mound. 1-3, 1 out.
My old friend Steve Byrne from Kerry's Grill Room and Bistro Banlieue is at the ballpark today. Jeremy is hurt, and they're going to take an MRI when the swelling goes down, and they can further assess just how long it's going to be. Most disappointing for the young man who was over 500 for a very bad Cub team last year and was right at 500 this year. So He doesn't want to miss any time in a pennant race, but that's exactly what's going to happen.
And we'll wish him luck with the MRI and hope for the best. As Kerry Wood takes a quick strike. 0-1.
Kerry Wood is a pretty good hitter, and he should get some decent swings against Reed.
Kerry 6 for 38, a 158 batting average. He pulls the breaking ball toward third. Good play, Harris. He'll flip to first in time and robs Kerry of a base hit here in the third inning.
That's a good effort by Lenny Harris, who we've seen at 3 positions in this series, and this time he shows you a little range to his left. Good effort. Knows he's got some time and gets it across in plenty of time. That could be one of the better plays he's going to make this year.
Two up, 2 down here in the third. Biggest play of this game so far for the Cubs has been Brant Brown's double, and then the inability of the 2-3-4 men to advance him or score him back in the first inning. Brown pulls a pitch foul, 0-1.
Well, Brant doesn't seem to have lost much. He was hitting the ball all over the place before he went on the disabled list, and he's come back hitting it once again all over the place.
He's getting some good hacks against Reed.
You would think after coming in twice that Reed would try to go away with either the changeup or a good moving fastball. Reed has to move the ball around consistently to be effective, and he can do it pretty well.
Pushes it outside for a count of 1-2. We touched on it earlier in the weekend. All the criticism Mike Piazza has taken for his supposed inability to call a game behind the plate. Couldn't disagree more. He's called a pretty good ball game here.
I don't think the problem for Mike Piazza this year has been calling the game. The problem has been his inability to drive home runs as a New York Met. They can live with his calling of games. They can live with his trouble on occasion throwing out base runners, but they want to see him hit the ball out of the park and drive in runs.
And isn't it funny how those two usually go hand in hand?
Well, there's no doubt you look like a whole lot better catcher when you're hitting.
2 balls, 2 strikes. It's like the old paradox of the Gold Glove. You don't hit, you usually don't win the Gold Glove.
Well, that and weight problems. Tony Gwynn winning batting titles is just the right weight, but anytime he has a slump, it's because he's too heavy.
The 2-2. Brown hits it high into the air into shallow left center field. Hundley comes in, pats the glove, and uses 2 hands this time and makes the catch to retire the side in the third. 1-0 New York, heading to the 4th at Wrigley.
They say fruit's good for your body.
Everybody loves fruit.
Natural fruit.
Wild fruit. Fruit of the loom. It's underwear. Get it?
Everybody loves fruit.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Look inside a new Dodge Ram conversion van, and you'll find a virtual home on wheels. But take away features like the video system, captain's chairs, and plush interior, and you'll find the remarkable new Dodge Ram van with a more powerful Magnum V8 and strong unibody construction. After all, even a home on wheels should be built on a solid foundation. And with $1,500 cash back, you can start construction right away. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
On 7th Heaven.
Matt paid Brian $20 to take me out.
Uh-oh.
Monday night at 7 on WGN.
It's 1-0 heading to the 4th inning. Hundley, Baerga, and Husky. Swing and a miss with a bullet fastball, 0-1.
Todd Hundley's had all kinds of problems. If he can't lay off that high fastball, he can't get to it, and you could throw it by him upstairs. He was caught looking last time up.
Right through that one again, 0-2.
I would think you could throw him another high fastball. I know Kerry feels he can probably get him with a curveball, but if Todd times it, he's got a chance to hit that. He's not going to hit the letter high fastball.
That plane not flying at Mach 3. Maybe this fastball will be. Back to the screen.
I'd like to have a little bit higher than that. That one was a little too close to belt high, and Todd had a real good swing at it. Jim Riggleman knows the importance of this game. It would be nice to split the series with the Mets.
Breaking ball, strike 3, called again. Oh, baby, that really snapped off, and Hundley's retired for the second time looking on strikes. That means a backward K will be hanging from the seats here at the ballpark.
When you throw 95-96, it's tough to look for anything else. And from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, we'll take a look at the second time Hundley goes down on a called third. So 3 Ks as we head into the 4th.
1 out for Baerga. Baerga with a check swing. Well, not a check swing, but a very softly hit single into right, just past Mark Grace. His first time up. Takes a shot that way as well, and it's out of play to even the count, 1-1.
Baerga in the last year of his contract got off to a slow start like he did last year, but he has started to heat it up, hitting .297 left-handed.
Fastball misses, 3 balls and a strike.
Well, you can see Bobby Valentine was looking out at Kerry Wood as if to think, boy, he would look pretty good in the middle of my rotation. That young man of 21 years of age.
He'd look good in anybody's rotation, and Baerga draws the walk. Kerry trying to throw that one right through Tyler Houston.
And Jeff Blauser now going to come in and have a word with Kerry Wood. Nobody knows better than Kerry that he's gotten hurt on the 3-1 count today, so he tried to get a little something extra on that fastball and missed the zone.
So here's Husky. The meeting a brief one on the mound. Husky jammed to fly the ball into center field in the second inning.
To send along best wishes to Susie Hansman, big Glen Allen Hill fan and a huge Cub fan.
And an even bigger Steve Stone fan. We
she
understand.
loves the broadcast.
Bouncing ball to the shortstop. Blauser flips to Manny for 1. Can they turn it? No. And the inning stays alive. Baerga's retired, 6-4, and Huskies at first with 2 down.
Manny did a good job of getting that throw off. He knew that Baerga would be barreling down the line trying to take him out, but he stayed in, made the throw, and they could not turn it on Butch Huskey. Now Huskey, for a very big man, and he is just that, has stolen 7 bases, but he's been caught 6 times.
Lopez swung at a pitch on his shoe tops to strike out his first time up. Hits that ball hard to Manny. He scoops it up, throws him out, and the inning's over. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. After 3.5, it's still 1-0 Mets.
Four tires fuel and out the door.
We asked the hottest guys in the pits to switch antiperspirants.
Ultra dry degree, body heat activated.
When your body heat rises degrees, new Ultra Dry form releases extra protection.
Work better than my old stick.
It kept me dry. Ultra dry.
New from Degree.
They say fruit's good for your body.
Everybody loves fruit.
Natural fruit. Wild fruit. Fruit of the loom. It's underwear. Get it?
Everybody loves fruit.
A participating advertiser for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is the new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge.
While these 2 trucks appear to be exactly the same, there is, however, one measurable difference. The brand of brake pads. Performance friction carbon metallic. The power to stop the best. Ask for them at AutoZone.
So, I read an article that says they think about it every 8 seconds.
I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like the only thing Dave ever wanted.
They have one-track minds. Must be something biological or genetic.
Men, they're all the same.
Hey. You read my mind.
If a Cub player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN. You could win tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
Not Pete's girlfriend.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning with Dr. Download Steve Stone, Chip Caray from beautiful Wrigley Field. Mets enjoy a 1-0 lead. The commander, Pete Toma, one of our crack producers, is sitting upstairs in the booth with us. Our email has dried to a trickle. Nary an email has been received quite yet from you, our loyal listeners and viewers. But we look forward to hearing from you as the day progresses here. The finale of this 4-game set against the New York Mets.
The wind's starting to freshen up somewhat. It's blowing straight in. So you're going to have to hit it hard to get it out.
Well, Jose hit one hard yesterday right down the left field line. That tied a 1-0 game at 1. Boy, he was happy to see that ball not hook foul.
He told me he thought when he got it that it had home run distance, but he thought he had gotten out in front of it a little too quickly. That wasn't the case. And this is where Jose wants to have Rick Reed. He's behind 2-0. And you just sit and look for a fastball middle in. Bell has hit his 31st home run.
What a month he's had. The 2-0 is fouled back.
You're not kidding. And how about Greg Vaughn talking about good months?
Man.
He is now tied with Sammy Sosa at 37 home runs.
So he's making a bid to join the Maris chase. The pitch is swung on, foul back again. 2-2. This guy Reed knows what he's doing out there. Two balls, 2 strikes. That was a get off me ball swing. And he stays alive.
Well, despite being around seemingly forever since back in 1986, Reed will turn just 33 years of age August 16th. So he's still got a few good years left.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner.
Lenny Harris with that hat shot, just getting us prepared for Arizona. We're going to see a lot of those down there. Well, Jose got ahead 2-0, but this fastball right on the outside corner. Now they've stayed away from Sammy almost entirely this whole series, and they've had pretty good luck with it.
Sammy tapped to third his first time. Be great to see number 38 right here. The pitch is away. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies were down 7-0 to the Marlins. They've battled back to make it a 7-6 game. Scott Rowland has hit a 3-run homer in that ball game. Braves and Pirates are tied at 1 already in the bottom of the 7th inning in Pittsburgh. Greg Maddux pitching for the Braves. Montreal and Milwaukee tied 2-2 after 3. Everything else gets underway in a little while.
Whoever started that game from Milwaukee out of the game already.
Cal Eldred, he left because of injury.
I was to say maybe a physical problem.
1-1 to Sammy. Swung on line toward the gap left center field. McRae over quickly, but Sosa has doubled with 1 out. He hit that ball like a rocket.
Reed tries to stay away from Sammy, but he reaches out and drives it into the gap. No chance for anybody to get this one. So Sammy representing the tying run out at second base.
So here's Grace. A swinging bunt off the bat of Grace ended the Cubs' first. And he backs away from that Reed offering. 1-0. Nomar Garcia-Parras hit a 3-run homer for the Red Sox. Boy, that guy is a terrific player. And the Red Sox having a great year. Daylight play, close play, but no tag applied. Boston shutting out Toronto 5-0. Mo Vaughn probably unhappy about that. He wants to play for Toronto, apparently. I guess 4 years, $37 million, not enough. That's the offer Dan Duquette has made Mo Vaughn, who is very, very unhappy in Boston. 1 ball, no strikes. Breaking ball, bounce to the right side. That'll get the runner to third, but Baerga will throw Mark out. And it takes a 2-out hit from Henry if the Cubs are to tie this game.
It'll be interesting to see if the shift is as radical this time against Henry. They've been playing him as a dead pull hitter. They're well back on the right side. And Luis Lopez played one right up the middle last time up, and he's pretty close to the middle this time.
Two outs, runner at third, and Henry takes low. Oh, we've got the commander Pete Toma in the booth. We have the executive commander Bob Vorwald typing in on the email system. The 1-0 is in the dirt. A wild pitch would be nice. 2-0.
Reed has yet to make a wild pitch this year. Now you have the right-hander Jeff Blauser up next, so I don't expect him to give in to Henry. Let's see if he keeps it low and away.
Sammy leads from third. The pitch swung on, hit high into the air, hit it to left. Look at McRae charge over as Hundley comes in and makes the grab with ease. And the Cubs again threaten but fail to score in the fourth. We head to the fifth. 1-0 New York.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody.
Unlike other airlines, Southwest doesn't limit seats for frequent flyer award tickets. So if we've got a seat, it's yours. Not for keeps.
You are now free to move about the country.
Unlike other airlines, Southwest frequent flyer tickets can be easily transferred to friends and family members. Or perhaps someone else.
You are now free to move about the country.
Look inside a new Dodge Ram conversion van, and you'll find a virtual home on wheels. But take away features like the video system, captain's chairs, and plush interior, and you'll find the remarkable new Dodge Ram van with a more powerful Magnum V8 and strong unibody construction. After all, even a home on wheels should be built on a solid foundation. And with $1,500 cash back, you can start construction right away. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Soccer sure has changed since I played. 30-foot rises. Contracting goals. This game is nothing like we could have ever imagined. And it all started with All Sport.
All Sport, with a third more carbs than Gatorade. The game will never be the same.
WGN TV on the web. The latest in news, weather, sports, and more. Visit Chicago's very own at WGNTV.com.
It's 1-0 in the fifth. Reed takes a ball from Kerry Wood. The Mets only 3 hits. The Cubs have a couple, but another low-scoring pitcher versus pitcher battle here at Wrigley Field. This has been an excellently pitched series by both teams.
Well, the Cubs are a better pitching team at home this year, and the Mets have been an exceptional pitching team everywhere, so you figure it would be a pitching dominated series.
Another strike to Reed.
You used to see the Dodgers and the Braves 1-2 every year. This year it's the Braves and the Mets in pitching.
Ground ball off Kerry. He'll run it down, throw him out. Nice job by the young man not to panic there.
Again, the advantage you have, you know, a pitcher's going down the line, and Kerry Wood took his time. He located the ball, and he was able to make the play. This one bouncing up off the mound, and then Kerry locates it. Good bare hand pick up and flip in the same motion, and he retires Reed, who was bidding for an infield hit.
And more boos for Brian McRae. The way he's hit the Cubs so far in this series, maybe the fans ought to cheer him. Maybe that would unpsych him for the rest of this series. Fastball strike, 0-1. The count evens at a ball and a strike. This is the time of the game, too, with Wood, where he really starts to get loose. And that heat really starts to come to play. An example there, 1-2.
I'd like to see him drop one of those same curveballs that he threw to Todd Hundley to Brian McRae. Brian has seen a whole lot of fastballs in his 2 at-bats, and he hasn't gotten them yet. He's walked them, giving up a home run. So here's the hook, Brian. Well, not that time. That one slipped out of Kerry's hand. That would have been about belt high to George Mirasan.
I don't think George would have hit it either. It's hard to hit with a Snickers bar in each hand. The 2-2. Again, he misses high with a breaking ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, in a tight ball game, you want to make sure that Brian hits his way on, because this is their leading base runner.
Payoff. Hit high into the air, deep toward left. Henry back at the track. He'll have room. That was close. 2 down.
Good thing the wind is blowing in today, or that would have been his 2nd home run. Brian got most of it, but you see the wind blowing straight in, and that one stayed in the park.
So Harris is flying to left twice. And Wood looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. And Lenny backs away for a ball. Boy, what a valuable addition this guy could be for this New York team. We've seen, as you mentioned, the versatility he'll have in the field. But once they get their infield healthy again, and if they don't make a trade for another third baseman, they keep saying maybe a Dean Palmer or a Robin Ventura in New York. You've got Harris, you've got Alfonzo. That's fouled back toward us and out of play. If Harris doesn't start, he leads the National League in pinch hits coming off the bench. That's a very, very nice thing to have late in the season in a pennant race.
Well, Harris 11 for 32 as a pinch hitter, and that is a tough job to fill.
Pops that ball into shallow left. Tough play for Blauser, but he makes it. Inning over. Wood has his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. After 4.5, Cubs need a run to tie. It's 1-0 Mets.
He's been there for me as a coach and as a friend. Now he's there for you 5 times a week. Coach.
Coach, weeknights at 6:30 on WGN.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Major hazard. You left the base without authorization. Proceeded to Burger King and ordered a Rodeo burger?
I've served this command for over
Answer the question! Did you order the rodeo burger?
You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new rodeo burger. Cheese, onion rings, bullseye barbecue sauce. Right now, part of the 99-cent Great Taste menu.
That rodeo burger, it was pretty tasty, huh?
You can't handle the rodeo burger.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Budweiser has 12 breweries located across the country. The Budweiser that you get from your local brewery is usually the freshest beer available in the marketplace. Budweiser sells very quickly. The average age of Budweiser on the shelf is about 40 days. Having local breweries ensures that your Budweiser is the freshest possible beer it can be by the time you purchase it.
Lovely, but lethal. Back from the dead, right for revenge. Next, like that.
Tonight at 10:30 on WGN.
It's 1-0 headed to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Blauser, Houston, and Alexander before a packed house here at Wrigley Field. It's 1-0 in favor of the Mets. Big brother, little brother. See if Jeff Blauser can come up with a big hit here. Cubs only have 2 of them, both of them doubles. One by Brown, one by Sammy Sosa.
Well, look away, Jeff. That's where Reed has started most everyone, and it's on that outside corner. If you look away, you're usually going to get that fastball early in the count.
Jeff, a fly ball out to right, is 0 for 1 in the game. And that misses away. Speedy recovery wishes to James Miller from Mattoon, Illinois, an 80-year-old diehard Cub fan recovering from surgery. So, James, good luck to you. Hope you're feeling better. Two balls and a strike. A young fan named Bobby down in Sanford, Florida, has a youthful question to ask my partner, Steve Stone. The 2-1 is popped out.
And what might that be, oh chipster?
Actually, it's a 2-part question.
Yes.
What is the golden sombrero? And can you explain what the infield fly rule is?
Golden sombrero is 4 strikeouts, something that no hitter aspires to. Infield fly rule is runners at first and second, first, second, or third, with less than 2 outs on a fair ball where the infielder is able to catch it. And so the umpire will have to wait if an infielder has his back to the infield. But more times than not, if the infielder is set up to make the catch, it's in fair territory with runners at first and second, or first, second, and third. The umpire will give the sign of the infield fly rule. The batter is automatically out, and the runners can then advance after the catch at their own risk.
2-2 to Jeff. Strike 3 call. Second strikeout for Reed. Blauser retired to open up the Cubs' 5th. And Reed continues his Van Gogh-like impersonation. He's painting the corners today.
Well, this one right on the corner. And it's exactly like the Jose Hernandez called third. So Jeff Blauser, a strikeout victim for the 82nd time.
Here's Tyler. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up. He'll try to hit his way on. Smacks it toward left. Hundley broke back. Now comes in and puts it away. He misjudged the first ball hit to him in the first inning. Since then, he's played the position flawlessly. And we'll take a peek at our earned run average leaders in the major leagues the last couple of years. I don't think many people would have thought Rick Reed would be among the top 5, but indeed he is.
Well, they were all in the National League 1 through 4 until Pedro Martinez went over to the Red Sox, but Rick Reed right there at number 4. So you can see that this crafty veteran seems to be getting better with age.
Most things usually do, I would imagine.
Except for fish.
That's a good point. 1 ball, no strikes. Never really thought of it that way. And friends, Keychain Day brought to you by Ballpark Franks. Saturday, August 1st against the Rockies. The first 10,000 fans get that good-looking keychain. Our thanks to the Cubs and Ballpark Franks for another outstanding promotion. Rocket into left center field from Manny with 2 outs. McRae cuts it off. Manny, big turn. He'll put on the brakes and head back to first. with the third Cub hit of the afternoon.
That was one of the few breaking pitches that Reed hung, and he hung it out over the plate, and Manny roped it into center field. We'll watch it again. This curveball just kind of hangs right there, and Manny waits back for it. McRae does a nice job of getting over, cutting it off, and knowing that Alexander has good speed, he gets it back in.
So if nothing else, at least the Cubs bring Kerry Wood to the plate in this, the 5th inning. If Kerry fails to reach, the Cubs will then have the top of the order starting things off in their half of the 6th inning. But as Steve has said several times, it's true. Kerry's a very good hitting pitcher and was robbed of a hit his first time up. Mets lead is a slim 1 run. Brian McRae a solo home run in the 3rd, the difference. Kerry fouls it out of play, 0-1. Seattle over Baltimore 8-3. That game's in the 6th. Tigers 6, Indians nothing in the bottom of the 7th. Toronto has scored in Boston but trails 5-1. Yankees lead the White Sox 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Oakland losing at Tampa Bay 3-1. Royals 5, Anaheim nothing after 1. And did Kerry go around? They'll appeal. He did not, says CB Bucknor, in the count a ball and a strike. Minnesota just got 5 in the 1st, or in the 4th, I should say, against Texas. It's 5-0 Twins in the bottom half of the 5th. 1-1 to Kerry Wood on the outside edge.
I think that Texas Anaheim race is going to come down to which one of those general managers is going to make a significant deal here before the trading deadline. Another terrible break for Chuck Finley as he caught a line drive off his pitching elbow. There's no doubt that Anaheim needs some pitching.
Kerry back to the mound. Reed fields his position well and retires the side in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, another Cub man left on base. It's 1-0 heading to inning number 6.
They say fruit's good for your body.
Everybody loves fruit.
Natural fruit. Wild fruit. Fruit of the loom. It's underwear. Get it?
Everybody loves fruit.
Reese's Nutrageous. So loaded, you don't eat it, you survive it.
John Lithgow performs the Discover Card Dial-Along song.
An extemporaneous piece.
Provided for your dialing pleasure while you call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2 and apply for your Discover Card, the card with the cashback bonus award that always pays you back.
That was a nice surprise.
And that's music to everyone's ears. It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-2. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
At election time, the politicians are always telling us they're against taxes and for working people. Well, now they have a chance to prove it before the election. This tobacco tax some in Congress are talking about doesn't make any sense. How is more than $500 billion tax increase on working people going to stop kids from smoking? It's just more taxes for more big government. I'm going to remember this fall what the politicians do this summer.
Contact your member of Congress. Tell them to oppose new tobacco taxes.
This copyright telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has right of approval of the announcers and is intended solely for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is strictly prohibited.
1-0 after 5. The pitching duel continues. Brian McRae's home run the difference on a gorgeous day for baseball here at Wrigley Field. Another packed house on hand to see the Cubs and Mets do battle a very important game for both teams today.
And it'll be another 40-plus crowd today. This shapes up to be a tough inning for Kerry Wood. He's got to make some good pitches.
Olerud, Piazza, and Hundley will greet him. Olerud has singled. That back in the 3rd.
The Cubs go on to Arizona for 4. Then it's back against Colorado, which is shaping up as a well-attended series. But you can still get some seats for the Diamondbacks coming here on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of August. And that's 2 night games on Monday and Tuesday, the 3rd and 4th, and a day game at 1:20 on the 5th. So the Cubs don't have too many home games left, and I would make your plans ahead of time.
A strike on the outside edge, and if you're a Kerry Wood fanatic, the first game back on Friday would be his next pitching outing as we return from the Arizona trip. But good seats left. The pitch is low and in. 3 balls and a strike to Olerud.
It's been this count that Kerry's been hurt on today. The home run to McRae, the line drive base hit to Olerud, and a hard hit ball to Lenny Harris, all on 3-1 count. So be careful here.
He lost him. Third walk for Wood. A leadoff base on balls here in the 6th.
The only advantage you might have here is Olerud can't run at all, and Piazza not very quick himself. He's grounded into 11 double plays, and Kerry so far hasn't allowed Mike Piazza to get his arms out. Last time he shattered his bat and he grounded into a force out.
By the way, Steve Pope watching the game down in Alabama, in response to our question about where all the email is, he says there aren't any because we are answering all of his questions.
What a guy.
The first pitch to Piazza is a ball. 1-0.
1 year ago, Mike Piazza was hitting everything in sight. This year, with his travels from LA to Florida to New York, he must be suffering some jet lag.
Hopefully his bat will be, as this series concludes today. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, again, it hasn't been horrible average wise. I mean, when you have a catcher who's hit 342 for your ball club, you'd have to say that those are lofty numbers. They don't really care about the batting average of Mike Piazza. What they care about are the power numbers, and he's hit 7 home runs, driven in 22 in this his 52nd game. For him, those are low totals.
2-0, runner at first. Outside, 3-0. He's about to walk himself into serious trouble here in a 1-run game.
So if you're Bobby Valentine, do you give Mike Piazza the 3-0 green light? I would think so if it's close. They're staying inside.
Right down the middle. He didn't offer at that pitch. 3-1.
Now they've used the hit and run with this same combination. If Piazza doesn't make any contact, then Olerud will be thrown out.
3-1 now. Olerud doesn't go. The pitch, broken bat, blooper into shallow left field. That is going to drop. Piazza's so strong, he might get more broken bat base hits than any guy in the National League.
There are very few guys that could have taken that ball in that location and hit it as far as Piazza did. Look at this one. It's high, it's in, it's 96 miles an hour. Piazza breaks his bat and still is able to loop it over the head of Jeff Blauser. So he hit that ball about 220 feet. And there's very few guys who can do that. This sends the bullpen to work for the first time today. And it's Rodney Myers.
So the leadoff walk here in the 6th, the jam job from Piazza, gives the Mets another real scoring threat. First and second, nobody out. And with Hundley standing in, he's been struck out twice looking. Don't know if you like the odds or the percentages in that matchup. For the more Todd gets to see Wood, the more you think he's going to finally start to figure him out, as his dad Randy looks on here at the ballpark.
I wouldn't be surprised if they bunted with him. I mean, you wouldn't have bunted with Todd Hundley of a couple of years ago, but they might be entertaining the idea of doing it here. The Mets know they need another run or two in this one.
Not bunting, taking a strike. Piazza and Olerud lead from first and second respectively. It's only 1-0 New York. This a big sequence in the game. Breaking ball served softly into left. Henry's got it. No advance by the runners. One away. Now you've got the inviting double play candidate in Baerga. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk today.
I'm happy that he had Hundley swinging away because he hadn't had good at bats at all against Kerry Wood. And you know, late in every ball game, they take Hundley out for defensive purposes anyway. So now a double play gets you out of the inning.
Baerga smokes that ball deep toward left. Henry on his horse takes a peek at the wall, makes a grab. Piazza touch second, now heads back to first. 2 down.
Henry was playing Baerga as an opposite field hitter, and once again with the wind blowing in, this one stayed in the ballpark. Henry does a nice job of catching it, and the runners have to retreat.
Well, one thing about Kerry Wood, when he's had to make big pitches, he's made them in his rookie year. He needs to make a couple more to escape the 6th without any problem. Husky stands in the way, 0 for 2 today. Off speed, strike 1. Olerud walked, Piazza single. 2 fly balls to left since. And now Husky digs in, and he's in a quick 2 strike hole. Wood has struck out 3. He has walked 3. He's given up only 4 hits and 1 run. The big crowd rooting the kid on. Got him swinging. Oh, man, what a performance. First and second, nobody out in a 1-0 game, and he gets the next 3 hitters. Wow, on 6 pitches.
Get wise to Wise Guy.
It's not about who you are, it's about what you are.
Wise Guy.
This is going to be a roust, isn't it?
Weekdays at 2 on WGN.
It's coming. And this time there's something new. Now there's a wind tunnel by Hoover that's self-propelled, so it almost works by itself. Tests show wind tunnel picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright. And now you can get one that's self-propelled. Self-propelled wind tunnel.
Some guys have all the looks. Some guys get all the grace. Some guys.
Play Pepsi Pop Culture. Just drink Pepsi or Mountain Dew. Match winning phrases and win tons of cool prizes. From cash to trips. Even a new Jeep Wrangler. Pepsi Pop Culture. Drink, match, win.
Win a $1,000 shopping spree at Mall of America. Head for Cub Foods, pick up a Pepsi 12 or 24 pack, and you could win instantly.
Here we are in this simple, majestic setting. None of the usual interruptions. Nobody around to distract us from introducing AT&T One Rate Plus. Now, the key point, the thing to remember, is that every call you make from home with One Rate Plus, every call, day and night, 10 cents a minute.
Did you say 10 cents a minute, dude?
How do they find me?
AT&T One Rate Plus. 10 cents a minute, anytime. Call 1-800-4-1-RATE to enroll.
On 7th Heaven.
Matt paid Brian $20 to take me out.
Uh-oh.
Monday night at 7 on WGN.
Well, Stoney, it's 1-0 ball game. Kerry Wood hasn't had a big strikeout total, but his 4th strikeout, the biggest perhaps of the ball game.
Good hook, good fastball, another real good hook, and this is the biggest one, the one that got Husky and got the Cubs out of that 6th inning. And who's cleaning up in baseball? Major League strikeouts per 9 innings. Kerry Wood at the top of the leaderboard, ahead of some guys who can really throw it. Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, Pedro Martinez, and Hideo Nomo.
Lenny Harris moves from 3rd to left. Edgardo Alfonzo into the game. He plays 3rd base for New York, and the top of the Cub order here in the bottom of the 6th inning against Rick Reed, who, like Kerry Wood, has pitched a magnificent ball game. Alfonzo, a great glove man over at the hot corner. We'll see if he's up to snuff here in the 6th. A ball and a strike. Brant swung at ball 2 there.
Well, I, for one, am anxiously awaiting the former globe-trotting Arnie Harris, who will be conducting Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and we're getting ever closer to that.
The 1-1. Down and in, 2 balls and a strike. That's right, Arnie used to travel with the old Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes, indeed.
He taught Curly Neal everything he knew about the art of dribbling a basketball. The 2-1. Fouled off at the plate. It's 2-2.
Reed's changeup, although not as good as Glavine or Maddox, still awfully effective, and he's used it well. It was on the changeup that he retired Henry Rodriguez in the 4th inning, with Sammy standing out at second representing the tying run.
Bases clear, nobody out in the Cubs 6th. The pitch swung on, fisted out of play. A big ball game for the Cubs. Kerry Wood dueling with Rick Reed. Kerry surrendered a run on 4 hits. Reed's been just a shade better. No runs on 3 hits. The 2-2. Strike 3 called inside corner. Man, this guy does not throw you a pitch down the middle.
Well, Mike Piazza sets up, and almost every time Reed throws it right to the glove. Piazza wants it inside. He doesn't move his glove at all. And Reed puts it right on the corner. From the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, we'll take a look at a perfect strike. And Brant is down on strikes.
Base is empty. 1 out now for Jose, who, as you see, has flied to left and was caught looking back in the 4th. Where have the big hits gone? The Cubs in their last 4.5 games now just 22 hits and 8 runs.
Well, you know that the Cubs offense can't wait to get on that plane and head to Arizona.
0-1.
Where the pitching staff is just a shade less effective than these Mets.
We'll see Blair, Anderson, Telemaco, and Omar Dahl Monday through Thursday. The Cubs announced Don Wengert will be the starter on Wednesday. He's taking Jeremy Gonzalez's place, of course. And here are the rest of the matchups from the Bank One ballpark. Hope the Freon chambers are filled to the brim for the air conditioning system, because it's going to be smoking. 2-2 to Jose, who couldn't believe that call.
Mets ERA at 3.41. The Diamondbacks ERA at 4.84.
And again, we don't know whether or not Travis Lee's going to play or not.
I'm sure our pitchers would hate to miss him, being a candidate for Rookie of the Year. And his #1 competition is throwing another gem here today, Kerry Wood.
Well, we know we won't see Matt Williams. He's on the disabled list.
And Andy Bennis is throwing today.
The 3-2. Ball 4, a 1-out walk. All right, Sammy, here's a chance to put the Cubs in front.
Well, it was after a walk to Kevin Orie in the 8th inning by Masato Yoshii yesterday that the Cubs put 2 on the board and won the game. So after a walk to Jose Hernandez here, Sammy will come up.
Counting today, Reed has walked now just 6 men in his last 8 games. Here's Sosa, a double his first time. The pitch is an inside corner strike.
Well, the Mets know this is a huge game. If the Cubs win today, then the Mets would have come in at 3.5 games back in the wild card, and they will leave with 4 clicks taken off the calendar in the same spot. You win this ball game today, you pick up 2 games in the wild card race, and you leave a game and a half back. So this is a very big game for both teams.
0-1 to Sammy. Here it is. 0-2 to Sammy.
Very similar to that Bobby Jones curveball that he used so effectively. And Sammy, talking to Jerry Crawford, thought it was high. Jerry Crawford thought it was good enough. Jerry lets you talk a little bit, but then he will tell you that he's heard enough.
His brother Joey Crawford, the longtime NBA official and one of the best in the business. 0-2 the count to Sammy. He'll have to protect the plate here. Ooh, that just missed the outside edge. Not much of a waste pitch there.
Last year, the year before, Sammy would have been swinging at that one. This year, he's just a little more selective, and he took a very close pitch.
And I think he's starting to get the respect of the umpires on those marginal calls, too. 1-2 with Hernandez at first and one man out.
Here's the
1-0
hook.
Mets.
Here's the hook. Sammy, wait for it.
Took it outside. 2-2.
Mark Grace due for a big hit. And you'd have to figure that Reed would go away. We'll take a look in at Mike Piazza. He'll hang the sign, and it's a curveball.
Breaking ball swung on, belted deep towards center, back to the track, and the wall. It's long gone, and the Cubs have the lead.
Bobby Valentine can't believe perhaps that a hanging curveball, and almost the same scene as yesterday happens once again. 38 and 96 for Sammy and the power numbers.
It turns the game around. 2-1 in favor of the Cubs, and Mark Grace takes ball one. They're climbing in the juniper bushes to pick up the baseball. 2-1 in favor of the Cubs here in the sixth inning is Sammy Sosa with the big hit of the ball game. That ball off Grace's bat popped up toward third. Alfonzo near the camera well has just enough room.
One too many curveballs to Sammy. This one hangs up and out over the plate, and Sammy gets every bit of it. He knows it's gone. The familiar hop, skip, and a jump. And this one is gone. And with it, the Met lead is gone. That was from the Southwest Airlines Plainview camera, and there is the Plainview camera high atop Wrigley Field.
So 2 in, 2 outs now for Henry. He smacks that ball deep toward right. Husky won't get that. It rockets off the ivy. He overruns it. Henry's got 2. He'll take a big turn and stop there. Boy, the Cubs are hitting some bullets now against Reed here in the sixth inning.
For Southwest Airlines, how far does it fly? 420 very happy feet.
That ball was crushed.
Both home runs that turned around both games hit to straightaway center field.
And with a look like that on the face of the Mets skipper, you'd expect a broken heart from the man named Valentine. Sammy says, yeah, I just got out the modified Varden grip and
hit
a 7-iron.
He says, Manny, you get the hanging breaking ball. You single to center. I get the hanging breaking ball, goes 420 feet.
So here's Blauser. A big hit off of his bat would be nice right here. Henry stands at second, 2 down. And Jeff looks at a strike on the outer half, knee high on the black. 0-1. Jeff digs in. 2-1 in favor of the Cubs. It's fouled back out of play. Let's pause quickly for station identification from beautiful Wrigley Field.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
With Steve Stone, Chip Caray from the ballpark. Sammy Sosa, a 420-foot home run in the 6th, has made it 2-1 in favor of the Cubs. The 0-2 nearly hit him. One ball, 2 strikes. They play Jeff around a little bit toward right and center. If he could pull a read pitch into the gap, he'd have an easy double. But they're pitching him away. And he hits it that way into right at Huskey. The right fielder's got it. And the side retired. The 1-out walk, then the Sosa blast makes it 2-1 Cubs after 6.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Pepsi. Generation Next.
Regular lenses show reflections. Now at Lens Crafters, I have new lenses called Invisibles. They reduce reflections up to 90%. Wow. Only Lens Crafters can make Invisibles in almost any pair in about an hour.
New Invisibles, only at Lens Crafters.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Major hazard. You left the base without authorization. Proceeded to Burger King and ordered a rodeo burger?
I've served this command for over
Answer the question! Did you order the rodeo burger?
You're darn right I did. It was flame broiled and delicious.
Burger King salutes small soldiers with a tasty new rodeo burger. Cheese, onion rings, bullseye barbecue sauce. Right now part of the 99-cent Great Taste menu.
That rodeo burger, it was pretty tasty, huh? You can't handle the rodeo burger.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Whether by design or by accident, a first kiss is never forgotten. Dawson's Creek.
Tuesday night at 8 on WGN.
Luis Lopez leads it off for the Mets in the top of the 7th inning against Kerry Wood. A Sammy Sosa home run, his 38th, makes it a 2-1 game. And now here's where you love having the gunslinger Kerry Wood on your side. He gets stronger as the game gets longer. He's got a 1-run lead and he's pitched a gem today.
And he's got Todd Pratt in the on-deck circle. That's going to be it for Rick Reed, as the Cubs have the lead and the bottom part of the order before they move to the top and Brian McRae.
A ball and a strike. He took something off. 2-1 the count. Don't want to put these guys on ahead of the Mets top of the order and McRae specifically. Fouled back to the screen. It's 2-2.
We see Arnie Harris wending his way up here. Hoping that the length of the 7th inning is shortened up somewhat.
That has been the curse. The 2-2. It's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Kerry Wood undefeated at home. He's gunning for his 10th big league win. Now the payoff. Swung on, fouled away.
Good piece of hitting there by Luis Lopez, who was spoiling a pretty good pitch. Mel Rojas throwing in the pen. And he will pitch the 7th inning.
3 balls, 2 strikes again to Lopez. Got him him swing, and he chased ball 4.
Cubs get a big break. That ball over the head of Lopez. He should be on first. Instead, he's going to take a seat in the dugout.
So Wood's strikeout total starting to rise. That's number 5, and it was tough to lay off up in his eyes. So Reed is gone. Todd Pratt, the pinch hitter.
And Todd Pratt has been a very good pinch hitter this year. Overall, Pratt 4 for 9 with 4 runs driven in as a pinch hitter.
So let's see if Wood can tame him here. Bases empty, 1 out. Breaking ball snaps across for a strike. Boy, you can almost hear that thing sizzling as the friction meets the laces of that baseball as it hits Tyler Houston's glove and makes that muffled pop. The 0-1. Makes the fastball look faster too, doesn't it? 1-1 now. Broke his bat on the foul tip. And Wood ahead in the count, 1-2. If that was Piazza, that would have been a base hit into center field. But Pratt, strong, not superhuman strong like Piazza is.
Could not get the bat in and the head of the bat out. So that one wound up against the front of the Met dugout.
So a new WAR club for Pratt. He's made it. Arnie is in the booth. The 1-2. He went around, ball lost. He threw the bat at the ball. Houston's got to throw to first, and what a play by Grace. Did you see that? The ball rolled away from Houston. Pratt threw the bat down. It hit the ball in foul ground. Tyler had to recover and then throw a pellet to Grace at first. Man, oh man, look at this.
That's pretty much what happened, and he got him. Mark Grace just trying to avoid a collision.
So 6 strikeouts for Wood. And McRae the batter, and he's behind 0-1. Houston and San Diego now underway. It's Hampton against Brown in San Diego. 0-1 to Bryan. And that just missed. McRae has been a royal pain in this ball game. He's walked, he's homered, he's flied to left. A very, very good series. He hits that ball high in the air into left. Henry nearing the line. He's under. He's got it. And the curse of the 7th has been exercised. And now let's join Arnie Harris for Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
He's joining the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, led by producer, director of Cubs baseball for 35 years, Arnie Harris.
Hi, everybody. Hey, how about Sammy? How about Kerry? And how about the Cubs? All right, know one thing. Harry's watching, and he's probably saying, Arnie, don't mess it up. So, folks, help me out. Let's go, Gary. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. So it's root, root, root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. You were great!
Something to drink?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Mel Rojas takes over for the Mets here in the bottom half of inning number 7 with the Cubs in front by a run.
Mel at 3-2, ERA 4.66, on for the 37th time with a couple of saves.
It's Rojas against the lower third of the Cubs order. Houston, Alexander, and then we'll see if Kerry Wood bats. The Cubs bullpen has gotten busy. We're joined by our old pal Arnie Harris, and you have a great big look of relief on your face.
It was fun, Chip, but once I got up here, it was a little scary, but it was fun.
Have you ever seen a game from up here all your years with WGN? Have you ever been in the booth for a ball game?
The only time, let me get.
That's popped to short off the bat of Tyler.
The only time would be, Chip, if maybe we did the second game of a doubleheader once in a while, but that would be it. But I've never seen the people live singing the "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." So.
Well, you remember earlier in the year we had the email of the year. Steve, somebody wrote in and asked if Arnie Harris was a real person or just a mythical character that we made up.
And what did he look like? And now you get a chance to see firsthand.
My wife Arlene and my sons Craig and Lyle will tell you I'm real.
You are real, indeed. How about this year? This must be a special year for you, the way the Cubs are playing, all your years of watching Cubs baseball, to see this team do what they've done so far.
You and I and Stoney were talking. It's almost like 84 and 89 revisited. I mean, it has that feeling about it.
Manny takes a strike. It's 1-1.
Well, you did such a good job that Chip and I are going to let you pay for our traditional before the plane meal.
All I know is, folks, when I buy dinner, it costs $196. When they buy dinner, it costs $12.
Oh, man. 1 ball and 1 strike. Manny sends a drive, hit hard into right. Husky broke in, now breaks back, still going, reaches up and puts it away for out number 2. And now Kevin Orie will come on and pinch hit for Wood here in the 7th inning. What about Kerry Wood? Where does he rank among guys you've seen here?
The 3 maybe. I've seen 7 no-hitters, but the 3 games that stand out in my mind are the 2 pennant clinchers, 1 in Montreal and 1 in Pittsburgh, and Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game. Kerry Wood's game, including the no-hitters, was the best pitch game I've ever seen.
That was a fun ball game to watch, and he's in line to win this one this afternoon as Orie comes on to pinch hit.
Well, the fans who came to this game came to see Kerry Wood pitch against the Mets, see Sammy hit a home run, and to see Arnie Harris Take Me Out to the Ball Game. They'd seen all 3.
And Kevin Orie pops it into shallow center. Lopez gives way to McRae, who makes the grab. Arnie, it's been a pleasure.
Chipper, one thing, we had a fast 7th inning today.
Hey, I know. We'll have to do this again sometime.
You and Stoney are doing a great job.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks, pal.
We love you. Arnie Harris, 2-1 is our score as we head to the 8th inning.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
They say fruit's good for your body. Everybody loves fruit. Natural fruit. Wild fruit. Fruit of the loom. It's underwear. Get it? Everybody loves fruit.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
Unfortunately, most drivers are hitting the same place every time. And it's usually when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Am I on? Geico Direct could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Result?
Smaller bill.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more.
Nobody does it like you.
To deep clean your carpet and upholstery, you can get a Hoover SteamVac Ultra and pay once. Or pay these guys
Nobody
every time.
does it like you.
On to the 8th we go. Kerry Wood taken from the game after 110 pitches for Terry Mulholland, who has been sparkling in relief.
Mulholland at 3-2, ERA .293 on for the 41st time. And with his dad in the seats watching this one, Bernard Gilkey in a pinch hit for Harris.
And he takes a ball. Terry has given up 3 earned runs in 26 innings in 23 appearances.
And Gilkey has just killed him. 16 for 38, 421 lifetime.
But Terry evens the count at a ball and a strike.
Terry Adams loosening as we speak.
2-1 the count. Houston has scored a run in the first in San Diego. Cincinnati likewise in San Francisco. And Adams getting ready. We're in the top of the 8th inning at beautiful Wrigley Field, and Terry Mulholland falls behind 3 balls and a strike.
Bernard Gilkey, kind of the odd man out with the Todd Hundley outfield experiment, and it's been a most disappointing year for him.
Only a .228 average. And he swung at a bad ball there. So the count's full 3-2.
Well, Terry loves to cut that fastball in on the hands of the right-handers. That one would have been well inside, but Gilkey swinging, and he'll have to see a 3-2 pitch.
And he struck out. Terry came back to punch him out. Boy, with Mulholland and Beck in that bullpen, you got 2 guys with ice water in their veins from the left and right side.
Terry's got good control. He throws this one over the outside corner after working him inside on 3-1, and Gilkey goes down on strikes.
Well, what happened to Gilkey? In '96, he hit 30 home runs, drove in 117. Last year, hit 18 home runs and hit only 249. We mentioned his struggles as he struck out. But a good start for the 8th as John Olerud, the batter. You see what he's done today.
This is likely to be the last man Terry faces. You've got Piazza and Alfonzo coming up.
2 balls, no strikes.
Pretty good lefty-lefty matchup. Olerud hitting .333. Not many left-handers have those kind of numbers against Mulholland.
The 2-0 pitch is through there for a strike. Olerud would love to get on base any way possible to give Mike Piazza a chance to equal Sammy Sosa's feat. Sammy hit a 2-run homer in the 6th to give Jim Riggleman's club the lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-1 score, and the 2-2 pitch is outside. A full count now, 3-2. Now the payoff. He lost him.
Olerud has more walks than strikeouts, and that's a testament to a pretty good hitter. And here comes Jim Riggleman. That indeed will be it, as Terry Adams will come in the game. No way you're going to let Piazza face the left-hander. So Terry Mulholland faces a couple of hitters, and he will depart.
He struck out Gilkey. He walked Olerud, and now it's Piazza against Adams. The Mets have the tying run aboard in the 8th inning. Cubs have a 2-1 lead. We'll see how Adams fares in this matchup right after this.
Sister, Tia's got a date and a sister who wants to tag along.
I don't want her to feel left out just because I have a boyfriend.
I got a solution. Nobody dates till they're 30.
Looks like two's company, and Tamara's a crowd.
I really had a wonderful time. Me too.
Sister. Then on Smart Guy, Marcus has set his sights on love.
She makes me nervous and my mind goes blank.
How can you tell?
Smart Guy after Sister.
Tonight at 7 on WGN.
On Unhappily, Ryan's searching for truth, meaning, and women.
I gotta find a girlfriend, sis.
Oh, what's the matter, Ryan? Did Pillow break up with you?
But now that he's found her, she's about to break his heart.
So who's gonna tell him?
Then, a special Sunday Steve Harvey. Steve's choir is a shoo-in for this year's trophy.
I will praise him.
Well, maybe next year. The Steve Harvey Show after Unhappily.
Tonight at 8 on WGN.
It's Terry Adams out of the Cub bullpen, and he's got to get Piazza and Alfonzo.
Terry Adams at 7-6, ERA 3.83, on for the 49th time. He's walked 28, fan 56 in 54 innings. He's always had good luck against Mike Piazza. He's never had a hit off him in 4 at-bats. And Piazza an inviting double play target.
And Terry took the loss in the second game of that doubleheader, an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, and a walk against New York. But a double play off the bat of Piazza would be nice. A 2-1 game in the 8th. A huge swing game for both ball clubs, and Terry rushes that one up there too high. Ball 1.
Olerud doesn't have much speed. So this combination of Piazza and Olerud on a ground ball going to be hard pressed to not get a double play unless it's a little tapper.
Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes.
The next guy up, Alfonzo, is a real good clutch hitter.
Greg Maddux beat Pittsburgh today 2-1. And that one nowhere near 3-0. Will they green light Piazza? We'll never know. 3-1.
No green light on that one. You want to push that tying run to second base. But be careful here.
Slightly open batting stance for Piazza from the right side. 3 balls and a strike. He lost him. First and second with 1 out.
Well, nobody's warming up in the bullpen, so Jim Riggleman wants to just calm down Terry Adams, who has periodically had a lot of control problems. And he is facing an awfully tough clutch hitter in Edgardo Alfonzo, who came in the flip-flop batting order. And now the bullpen up and going, and it's Tony Fossas, the left-hander, Dave Stevens, the right-hander, and they're getting ready in a hurry.
So, as you mentioned, a very big clutch hitter in Edgardo Alfonzo batting for New York. Hundley went 0 for 3 in the left field spot for the Mets. Now Alfonzo batting in the number 5 position takes his first look at Adams in today's ball game. The go-ahead run is at first. He's Mike Piazza.
It's going to be tough for Olerud to score unless you hit one in the gap. And the left-hander Fossas, the right-hander Stevens.
Low and away.
You don't want to face Baerga from the left side, so you figure Fossas would be ready for Baerga, barring a double play ground ball off the bat of Alfonzo.
That's a strike. It's 1-1. Well, Jim Riggleman has said all year long that he is not going to let Kerry Wood abuse that arm. 110 pitches through 7 innings today. Not an inordinately high number of tosses.
Well, obviously,
he was hoping he could turn it over to the pen and they could get it done.
Yeah, obviously, if the Mets do tie this one up, there's going to be a lot of folks unhappy with Jim Riggleman about this decision. However, you just don't win any pennants in July. You need Kerry Wood strong in August and September, and the young man's going to be asked to do some things he hasn't done before.
2-1 is skied foul and out of play.
He's going to make more starts. He's going to win more games. He's going to pitch more innings and face more hitters and fan more hitters than at any level of his career. And at 21 years old, you just don't want to burn him out. He has a long and very successful career ahead. And they could use him to be on top of his game as we move down into crunch time.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners lead at first and second. Not great speed at all for New York. The pitch. Swung on, popped up, right side. Sammy on the run near the New York bullpen. It's well into the seats. So Alfonzo and Adams will duel once again.
On a base hit to right with anything on it, I don't think that Olerud's going to be able to outrun the arm of Sammy Sosa.
Again, the 2-2 pitch. It's a full count.
Now Alfonzo does not strike out a lot, and to stay out of a double play, you might see the runners going. He's only fanned 41 times and 321 at bats. And so now Tyler Houston probably figuring if you do strike him out, they'll go after the trailer Mike Piazza, who probably will not get as much of a lead as Olerud at second.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch, both runners go. Swung on, bouncing ball right side. Manny has only 1 play, and they did stay out of a double play. Runners advance 90 feet, second and third, but there are 2 men out.
Well, Manny took a look at second, but with the runners going, there was no way to get the force, and so after doing the 360 spin, he got the out at first. And you see Manny taking a look at second. No play there, but he knows he's got some time, and he calmly makes a play at first.
Now what do you do with Baerga? Do you put him on and take your chances with Husky and the bases loaded?
I'm not sure if Terry Adams has the kind of control you would want at this point by loading him up, so maybe you try to keep the ball away. I thought they would bring in Fossas to face him, but hitting from this side, he's hitting 100 points higher than he is as a right-hand hitter.
So be very, very careful. First pitch right through there. Baerga thought it was too far in. 0-1.
You see the disparity between the 2 sides. Power about equal. And in the second game of the doubleheader, Baerga had 2 RBIs from the right side and 2 from the left.
Good stop by Tyler. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets have runners second and third in the 8th.
Terry Adams does not have a wild pitch this year. That was a very good play by Tyler Houston.
A 2-1 Cub lead here in the 8th inning. Not missing by much, but missing he is. 2-1.
This one just off the corner, and as you can see, it's down and it is away. Tyler tried to bring it back in the zone, but Jerry Crawford said
The 2-1. Bouncing ball right side. Manny in between hop. Handles it, throws him out. Mulholland and Adams get him out in the 8th inning. It's 2-1 in favor of the Cubs.
Both these men have athlete's foot. But only one used Desinex, the soothing cure. Desinex has a dual-action formula that calms the itching and cools the burning. And Desinex is clinically proven to kill the fungus dead, so your feet feel good while they heal. Got athlete's foot? Get dual-action Desinex. Soothes while it cures.
Spend an incredible evening with Mark Grace, Sammy Sosa, Kerry Wood, and the entire Cubs team as we set sail on the 98 Cubs Care Cruise. Wednesday, August 5th aboard the majestic cruise ship Odyssey at Navy Pier. Enjoy impeccable cuisine while cruising Chicago's lakefront skyline with Cubs players and coaches. Tickets are $200 per person. All proceeds benefit Cubs Care, a fund of the Robert R. McCormick Foundation. For more information, call 773-404-CUBS.
Well, my Discover card statement reads like a wish list. Toys. I like toys. I love pinball machines. This will improve my golf game. It is unbelievable to me how fortunate I've been in my life, and I can't ask for anything more. Discover card cashback bonus, no competition.
It pays to Discover. To apply, call 1-800-IT-PAYS-TO. Accepted where you see the nervous sign.
Lovely, but lethal. Back from the dead, right for revenge. Next, Mike Mack.
Tonight at 10:30 on WGN.
Well, a little bit of insurance sure would be nice here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Cubs have the top of the order due up. Bernard Gilkey stays in the game to play left field for New York. And on the mound, their third pitcher of the afternoon, right-hander Greg McMichael, who's making his second stint work with New York.
McMichael at 2-3, ERA 3.80, on for the 41st time. And he's handed a one-run deficit with the top of the order due to face him, and Rod Beck getting ready to come on in the 9th inning. Trying to complete his 14th save in a row, his 31st overall.
As we told you, Atlanta beat the Pirates today by a 2-1 tally. Greg Maddux gave up only an unearned run in that game. He's now 14-4, his ERA at 1.59 on the year. Wow. Sammy Sosa's 2-run homer, the deciding blow so far in this game. And now the top of the order, and Brown, Hernandez, and Sosa against McMichael. Brant today doubled in the first, flied to left, and was struck out looking in the 6th inning. Rod Beck is up in the Cubs bullpen. He'll pitch the 9th, and he'll have the lower portion of the Mets order due. 0-2 to Brown as that ball fouled into the seats. The Cubs offensively have had their problems with the Mets pitching. The Mets hitters have had problems with the Cubs pitching. This has been a terrific 4-game series. Off the end of his bat, popped up left side. Lopez drifts out, has plenty of room, and puts it away for out number 1.
Well, there's not a Cub that has hit a home run off Greg McMichael. However, Sammy is 4 for 10 with a couple of doubles lifetime.
A 2-1 thriller in the 8th. The Cubs have the lead with 1 out, with Jose Hernandez batting. It's 1-0. The playoff race is on. The Cubs battling for the NL Central title and the wild card. The Mets battling for only wild card position. That ball hit high, deep toward left. Gilkey back on the track. It's high off the wall. Hernandez with a 1-out double, and he just missed, making it a 2-run lead.
Well, unfortunately, Jose pulled that one a little too much, and it went into the well instead of going into the seats. Jose Hernandez just misses a home run. This one out over the plate, and Jose got most of it. Gilkey knows he can't get to it, and this one hits high off the wall but stays in the park.
Now the crowd's roaring. Piazza and McMichael talk it over. Dennis Cook, the left-hander, warming in the New York bullpen. The Cubs have Grayson Rodriguez due up after Sosa with first base open here.
Bobby Valentine wants to know if Cook is ready, because Sammy has killed McMichael. And if Cook is ready, they'll walk Sammy and then allow Cook to come in to face Grayson Rodriguez, and that's what's going to happen. Sammy with a double and a homer today, so they don't want to take any chances with him. So Sammy with only his 8th intentional walk this year.
Well, how many home runs would Barry Bonds have if he only had 8 intentional walks?
Or Mark McGwire.
There is ball 4. Sosa's aboard at first. Hernandez at second. Mark Grace will be announced.
And that will undoubtedly be it for Greg McMichael, as Bob Apodaca now coming out, and he makes the switches.
So Apodaca takes his sweet time getting to the mound. And this is the first visit. Now Jerry Crawford trots to the center of the diamond. Apodaca waiting for the umpire to get there and say, what are you going to do, Bob? He's going to go to the bullpen and bring on the left-hander. So it will be Cook against Grace and or Rodriguez here in the 8th inning. Cubs looking for some insurance in a tight 2-1 ball game.
On 7th Heaven, Mary's got a little crush.
Go ask him about me.
And guess who's playing Cupid?
Couldn't you just go out there once, like for pizza or something?
Look, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Totally busted.
Cupid's little loan could prove costly.
I'm guessing that this is going to blow up in your face big time.
Matt paid Brian $20 to take me out.
7th Heaven.
Monday night at 7 on WGN.
On the WB's new Tuesday, the hunters have become the hunted.
Look out!
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Then on Dawson's Creek.
It's about creating the perfect moment with the right music and lighting.
Whether it's by design or purely by accident.
Do you like to sail?
Why do you ask?
A first kiss is never forgotten. Dawson's Creek, after Buffy.
Tuesday night at 7 on WGN.
Well, Bobby Valentine playing the percentages here. Lefty against lefty with the Cubs. 2 runners on base, 1 out in the home half of the 8th, leading 2-1.
Dennis Cook has been terrific out of the bullpen at 6-3, ERA 185 on for the 46th time. He inherits base runners at first and second, only 1 out here in the Cub 8th as they look for an insurance run. Rod Beck will come on to try to save it, but he'd like an extra run or 2.
The Marlins gave Cook to the Mets for Fletcher Bates and left-handed pitcher Scott Comer. A masterful trade perhaps by the Mets. Hard-throwing left-handed relief pitchers who've been around like Cook, kind of hard to find. Last year he helped the Marlins win a world championship. He's pitched with the Giants, the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Indians, the White Sox, the Rangers, Marlins, and now the Mets. If I'm not mistaken, he and his wife, proud new parents of triplets, if memory serves correctly. If that's the case, congratulations. If not, forgive me. I wouldn't want to cause you that much of a loss of sleep. So Grace stands in, 2 on, 1 out. A big opportunity for him to come through. As the daylight play doesn't work, Jose slides back in safely. Mark is 0 for 3, has yet to get the ball out of the infield today. Terrific speed on the base paths. Swung on, hit high in the air, deep toward right, but the wind's going to hold that one up. Husky shields his eyes. There's the catch. Jose will tag at second, move on to third. So first and third now with 2 outs. And now Piazza and Cook want to talk over how they wish to pitch to Henry, who doubled his last time up.
Henry 0 for 6 lifetime against Dennis Cook. 4 of those have been punch outs. And they'll break up with this little meeting. See if Henry can drive home a run.
Glenn Allen Hill sitting right behind Jim Riggleman, sitting next to Jeff Pentland. He may pinch hit at some point in this inning if Henry can reach. We'll see if he can. First and third, 2 outs. The pitch way outside. How about that play by Piazza? Nothing wrong with his defense there.
1 wild pitch this year, almost 2 of them. As Piazza goes down and gets this one in the dirt and makes sure that Jose Hernandez stays 90 feet away.
Olerud plays in front of Sosa over at first. Swung on, pulled through, right side, base hit. Jose scores. And the Cubs have that big insurance run.
Henry drives in run number 67 as the Cubs try to even this series and take a little momentum on the way to Arizona. And Henry came through with a big hit. Cook dropped down sidearm. Henry drove it through the right side. And Jose scores, and that makes things a lot more comfortable for Rod Beck and the Cubs. That fastball is down where Henry likes it. And nobody home on the right side as Henry drives it through.
And Piazza and Cook having more meetings than the NATO Security Council here. Now they break it up, and Piazza back behind the Pentagon for Jeff Blauser, who's 0 for 3 today, 3 for 16 on the homestand, 0 for his last 11, and overdue for a hit. 3-1 in favor of the Cubs. Pulled toward the left side. Lopez gobbles it up. High throw, but Olerud held onto the bag, and that retires the side. On comes Rod Beck, looking for save number 31 and his 14th straight here at Wrigley Field.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
Flying to the New England area for business? If these 12 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to Providence or Manchester, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
Reese's Nutrageous. So loaded, you don't eat it, you survive it.
You can be just like Tiger Woods. He plays Titleist golf balls. And thanks to Wheaties, you can too. Just buy any 2 boxes of Wheaties and receive a free sleeve of Titleist balls. No postage, no handling, no kidding.
No multi-million-dollar contracts. No victory laps. Not even a winner's circle. But if you think these weekend warriors who run the Score Desert Championship Series take anything for granted, think again. which is exactly why they run with the Duralast battery from AutoZone. A battery so tough, so dependable, we back it with a 2-year free replacement guarantee. The next time you hit the road, don't settle for anything less.
He's been there for me as a coach and as a friend. Now he's there for you 5 times a week. Coach.
Coach, weeknights at 6:30 on WGN.
Brant Brown moves from center field to left field. Lance Johnson comes in to play center. He'll hit 9th in the new look Cub order. And on the mound, Rod Beck looking for number 31 and number 14 straight for the Cubs.
Record 1-2, ERA 3.78. That's coming down with every appearance. Only 9 walks this year for Rod Beck. And he'll go through the bottom part of the order, and we're likely to see Matt Franco.
But first things first, got to take care of Husky, who swings at the first ball and fouls it down the third base line. Beck, in his last 13 save opportunities, 11 innings and a third, 15 hits, only 4 runs, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, and an earned run average of 3.18. So he has been very, very good. Fisted towards second. Funny spin for Manny. He makes the play. 1 down. And Cubs fans, Monday, August 3rd, the first 10,000 fans attending the Cubs Diamondbacks game get a replica of the first night game program. Compliments of ComEd. For tickets, stop by the Wrigley Field box office or call 312-831-CUBS.
You'd love to see a 1-2-3 inning because Brian McRae has had very good luck against Rod Beck. And Franco in the on-deck circle. That's Matt Franco.
Lopez, the New York hitter, and takes a strike. Today's game, senior producer director of the Cubs baseball ball game, Lenny Harris. Our game today produced by John Walgren, our associate producer Mark Brady, coordinating producer Kim Fields, Bob Vorwald, our executive producer of WGN Sports. Our thanks to Kathy Kerr, the lovely and talented new aunt, and our AD today here at the ballpark. Lopez down to his final strike. He's 0 for 3 and has been struck out twice. Kerry Wood's in line to win it for the Cubs. The 0-2 just did get a piece. And Steve, a look at our Ameritech playbook.
Runners at first and second. A big strikeout of Butch Huskey. That's your Ameritech playbook. Your play that's made a big difference in this one is Kerry Wood made the big pitches when he had to.
Yeah, the Mets had him first and second, nobody out in that inning, and failed to score in the 6th. The 0-2 again. Breaking ball rockets it into center field. So the Mets will bring the tying run to the plate. It's Matt Franco.
And barring a double play, that will ensure that Brian McRae will indeed hit. So Franco comes up. He's hitting .276 overall, 5 for 27 with 4 runs batted in as a pinch hitter. He has grounded into 5 double plays. That's a high total in just 105 at bats.
So one here would be real nice. Grace holding the runner at first. Big hole right side. The pitch on the outside edge. Strike 1. Now Tyler steps out from behind home plate to try to get Grace's attention. Make sure that he wants to hold the runner over at first with a left-handed hitter in there. Now he plays behind, and Beck misses outside. 1-1.
The Cubs will not see the Mets again this year, and they will drop the season series if they win this one 5-4. They've been some pretty good ball games between 2 teams that are very equally matched.
And greatly attended ball games too. Over 121,000 for the 4-game series. That misses high from Beck. 2 balls and a strike.
What Mark Grace has to avoid doing is normally you want to come off the bag. He wants to break straight back and guard the line. You cannot live with a double in this situation, and I'm sure he's not going to stray too far off that line, just in case Franco does pull it that way.
Pulled right through the whole right side, base hit. So McRae will bat with the tying runs on now.
Kind of surprised that Lopez didn't get a better jump. If he had gone to third, Sammy wasn't going to throw to third. He had to get the throw into second to keep the tying run off second base. But he decided not to gamble, and he stayed at second. It's been adventuresome with Rod Beck as a closer, but he's been tremendously effective. It just never seems to get easy.
I was going to say, it's almost as if he pitches better in trouble. At least maybe he thinks that way, but he's making Coffee nervous here at the ballpark.
Well, he's a lot like when Randall Kirk Myers was here. Always an adventure, but very effective.
So he faces McRae now. And he misses with a ball. Brian has walked. He's hit a solo home run. He's flied to left twice. You've got Gilkey on deck for New York. Let's worry about him next year. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes.
You just don't want this inning to go down to John Olerud, because he is awfully tough.
Pulled right side. Grace has it. He'll let the runners advance. He'll take the second out. So now the crowd rises as one as Gilkey represents the final. New York out. And Bill Pulsipher will come on and pinch run at second base for Matt Franco. So Gilkey, the final New York hope. Second and third, 2 outs. Got to knock anything down at the plate, Tyler Houston, as Beck goes to the windup now. Strike one. And if body language tells you anything, Gilkey looked like he wanted no part of Rod Beck.
A lifetime he's had almost no success against him.
$40,000 again at the ballpark today. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner. The big right-hander muscled up and threw the heater right past Gilkey as Sammy Sosa hit the 2-run homer. Henry provided the insurance. Beck nails down his 14th straight save, his 31st of the year. And how about Kerry Wood, win number 10?
The high wire act again, navigated perfectly by Rod Beck as he left the 2 tying runs on. But after 2 curves, he let a fastball go and threw it right by Gilkey. The Mets, after taking the doubleheader, have to salvage a split of this one. And the Cubs very happy to get the split. They're done with the Mets. They pushed them 3.5 games back into wild card. And if Kevin Brown can subdue Houston, the Cubs will creep ever closer.
A huge game for the Cubs and their fans. There's nothing quite like beating the Mets as Gilkey was way late and was retired on 3 pitches. The old high country hardball from the shooter Rod Beck polishes off New York by a final of 3-1. Back to talk about it right after this.
How can Geico save you money on car insurance when you buy from us directly? We cut out the middleman. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Am I on? Geico Direct could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Result?
smaller bill.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more.
They say fruit's good for your body. Everybody loves fruit. Natural fruit. Wild fruit. Fruit of the loom. It's underwear. Get it? Everybody loves fruit.
You can be just like Tiger Woods. He plays Titleist golf balls. And thanks to Wheaties, you can too. Just buy any 2 boxes of Wheaties and receive a free sleeve of Titleist balls. No postage, no handling, no kidding.
Some guys have all the looks. Some guys hit all the bricks. Some guys.
Play Pepsi Pop Culture. Just drink Pepsi or Mountain Dew. Match winning phrases and win tons of cool prizes. From cash to trips, even a new Jeep Wrangler. Pepsi Pop Culture. Drink, match, win.
Win a $1,000 shopping spree at Mall of America. Head for Cub Foods, pick up a Pepsi 12 or 24 pack, and you could win instantly.
On today's Discover Card Payback Playback, on September 5th, 1993, Glenn Allen Hill hit the first of his 3 pinch-hit homers against John Franco as the Cubs beat the Mets 2-1. Yesterday's game winner was the 5th pinch-hit homer of Hill's career, and 3 of them against John Franco. That's today's Discover Card Payback Playback. Well, a big home run today, the difference for the Cubs. As you see the final score, 3 runs, 7 hits for the Cubs, 1-6-0 for the Mets. Sammy Sosa, our Bud play of the game, a hanging breaking ball from Reed, and he crushed it 420 feet away into dead center field for Sosa. His 38th home run, his 96th run batted in. That turned around a 1-0 game in favor of the Mets. Made it 2-1 in favor of the Cubs as Kerry Wood outduels Rick Reed, and Rod Beck nailed it down. 3-1 the final score. Back with a final word after this.
You can be just like Tiger Woods. He plays Titleist golf balls. And thanks to Wheaties, you can too. Just buy any 2 boxes of Wheaties and receive a free sleeve of Titleist balls. No postage, no handling, no kidding.
Another huge win for the Cubs. They salvage a split of the 4-game series with the Mets 3-1. Wood outduels Reed. Rod Beck saves his 31st of the year. Why was this game so big? It's a 2-game swing in the wild card race. The Cubs maintained the lead overall in the wild card positioning, sending New York 3.5 games back. San Francisco 3.5 back, pending the outcome of the Giants game against the Cincinnati Reds. Our next game on WGN will come from the Bank One ballpark. It's the finale of the 4-game series against the Diamondbacks. Join us at 6:30 Central Time for all the excitement from the desert. A great ball game in Chicago today. The Cubs beat the New York Mets by a final of 3-1. For Steve Stone and singing Arnie Harris, this is Chip Caray. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. We'll have the 10th inning show coming your way right after this.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. The new Dodge. From cars to minivans to trucks, it's about change. The new Dodge. Ameritech. In a world of technology, people make the difference. Pepsi. Generation Next. ComEd, the official electric company of the Chicago Cubs. ComEd, what do you do with your power? And by Southwest Airlines, offering low fares and frequent flights. Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
Welcome to the 10th inning show from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Chip Caray, as the Cubs have evened this series against the New York Mets, 2 games apiece with a thrilling 3-1 victory before a crowd of over 40,000 at the friendly confines. This was a huge series for the Cubs and a real litmus test as to how they would fare in the withering heat of the wild card race. And the Cubs came through with flying colors the last 2 days. Kerry Wood today, another spectacular pitching performance, now 7-0 at Wrigley Field. He outdueled Rick Reed, who gave up the 2-run homer to Sammy Sosa. And Rod Beck did his Wallenda act in the top of the 9th inning to pick up his 14th straight save, his 31st of the year, as the Cubs beat New York by a final of 3-1. Plenty of excitement to talk about, plenty of exciting plays to show you, as we'll have the highlights coming your way right after this.